Out here coming at you live from Martinsville for tonight's showdown, regular season finale between these two teams who enter the game with a combined record of 15-1. We're going to be starting the broadcast here in 1 minute and 50 seconds here. So just sit tight and I will be right with you. Now it's going to be 1 minute and 40 seconds. And so should be a real dandy of a game tonight. 1:30 now. 125. 120. 115. 110. 105. 1 minute. 55 seconds. 50 seconds. 45 seconds. 40 seconds. 35 seconds. 25 seconds. 20 seconds. 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and blast off. Hello and welcome to Ciderwitz Field on the campus of Martinsville High School. My name is Lex Zorn and I'll be bringing you all the action as your fifth-ranked Plainfield Quakers challenge the Martinsville Artesians in Week 9 of the Indiana High School football season. Well, last week your Quakers got their biggest win of the Tyler Bless era and got a huge monkey off their backs with a dominating 32-7 win over the Whiteland Warriors. Whiteland had won their last 7 games against Plainfield and 13 of the last 14 in the series. The Warriors got the ball first and consumed 9:04, nearly 1/5 of the game on that possession. Star senior Slate Valentine, the only major offensive starter from the team that went to the Class 5A state championship game 2 years ago, scored on a 7-yard touchdown rush, giving the Warriors a 7-0 lead. But surprisingly, that would be their only score of the game. Plainfield was undaunted and fired back hard on their ensuing possession. With 10:56 to go in the second quarter, continually improving sophomore quarterback Bryce Sabank rushed to 9 yards for a touchdown, and the bold decision to attempt a 2-point conversion succeeded, giving Plainfield the lead for good 8-7. Whiteland lost a fumble on their next possession at the Plainfield 40, but Plainfield failed to capitalize, turning the ball over on downs at the Warriors 22. A direct snap to junior star running back Luke Starnes produced only 2 of the needed 3 yards. However, the Warriors punted on their next possession, and Plainfield responded with their long-awaited first passing touchdown of the season. Sabank threw 9 yards to exciting sophomore Ethan Ellis with 18 seconds remaining in the first half, and Leo Hayab's extra point made the score 15-7. The Warriors opened the second half with an onside kick after 2 successful onside kicks were a major factor in their 22-8 win over Plainfield last year. But this time the Quakers recovered and scored on that possession, an 8-yard rush by Starnes, his 15th of the season, increasing the lead to 22-7 with 7:23 remaining in the third quarter. After another punt by Whiteland, Plainfield virtually clinched the game on its ensuing drive with probably their oddest play of the season. With the ball on the Warriors' 4-yard line, Sabank threw a short pass to junior Ryan Garver, who quickly handed off to senior offensive lineman Tommy Spilker, who ran it in for the touchdown. Spilker was hurt on the play, but got up after a few minutes and walked off the field under his own power. With Whiteland having little passing offense, once Plainfield had a multiple possession lead, they just had to take away the big play and force the Warriors to sustain long drives. Meanwhile, Whiteland stopped Plainfield's dynamic backfield duo of Starnes and Weston Wayrich from having massive gains, but each did more than enough to keep the chains moving, and the Quakers' steadily improving passing offense should command enough defensive attention to open even more doors for their rushing offense. For their games, Starnes and Wayrich each rushed 18 times, with Starnes gaining 111 yards, and Wayrich 116. The win was particularly important for Plainfield as they were in the same sectional as Whiteland this season. The Quakers should now have the psychological edge if the two teams meet in the playoffs. Plainfield is now 7-1 and has won 2 consecutive games since their 42-21 loss to Decatur Central in Week 6. Tonight in the regular season finale, the Quakers try to keep their momentum going as they play possibly their toughest opponent of the season, the Martinsville Artisans, who are not only undefeated at 8-8 and the number 2 ranked team in Class 4A, but 5 of their opponents are in higher classes. A win over Plainfield would further establish Martinsville as a serious state championship contender. Now, so far this season, Plainfield has rushed 326 times and passed 70 times, a ratio of 4.7 to 1. Sophomore quarterback Bryce Sabank has mostly been a very conservative and efficient game manager. He's completed 41 of 67 passes. That's 61.2% for 385 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. His leading receiver is sophomore Ethan Ellis with 18 receptions for 196 yards and 1 touchdown, followed by senior Weston Wayrich with 5 receptions for 60 yards, junior Ryan Garver with 7 for 54, and junior Luke Starnes with 7 for 46. The Quakers do most of their damage on the ground, and they do a lot of it, led by Starnes with 157 rushes for 1,234 yards and 15 touchdowns, while the other lead actor, Weston Wayrich, has 122 rushes for 745 yards and 12 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Martinsville has rushed 270 times and passed 182 times, a ratio of 1.5 to 1. Senior quarterback A.J. Reynolds has completed 132 out of 178 passes, an outstanding 74.2% for 1,812 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. His leading receiver is senior Hunter Stroud with 80 receptions for 962 yards and 12 touchdowns, followed by junior Mason Dodson with 20 receptions for 407 yards and 4 touchdowns, senior Draven Sanders with 13 receptions for 197 yards and 1 touchdowns, and 1 touchdown, and senior Joshua Jones with 14 receptions for 127 yards and 3 touchdowns. On the ground, the Artisans are led by senior Austin Pryor with 149 rushes for 792 yards and 8 touchdowns. Aforementioned quarterback A.J. Reynolds has 76 rushes for 353 yards and 20 touchdowns, and junior Lucas Dewey has 31 rushes for 156 yards and 1 touchdowns. Head coach for Plainfield is Tyler Bless, who's 13-5 in his second season with the Quakers. Head coach for Martinsville is Brian Duggar, who's 35-20 in his 5th season with the Artisans. Well, at this time, we'll take a short break for a few words from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the opening kickoff. Plainfield Martinsville, a regular season finale coming at you live under the Friday night lights. Next. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to recognize them, and we hope you will support them. They are Remax Centerstone, Julia Berberich, Ganell Financial, Crone Family Construction, My IT Indy Ryan Grimes, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crest Point Real Estate, Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellis & Associates. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Martinsville, we're just a few minutes away from kickoff. We have an incredibly beautiful day. The temperature here in Martinsville is 61 under a mostly clear sky, mostly sunny sky. After a high today of 69 here, which is just outstanding weather for the last week of the regular season. And I'll tell you, I got in the parking lot about 45 minutes before the game. And I'll tell you, I have never seen so many cars for a 4A school this far in advance of kickoff. This community of Martinsville, a community of 11,000, about 30 miles southwest of Indianapolis, is just, really embracing this undefeated team. Like I said, the Artisans now with a record of 8-0, ranked number 2 in the state in Class 4A. They've been a consistently winning program for most of the last 2 generations. but they've had tough luck in the postseason. They've won 6 sectionals and 4 regionals in school history, but they haven't won either since all the way back in 1996. Now that is almost certain to change this year, as the Artesians are in a very weak sectional. John Harrell's Indiana high school football site has them an 84% favorite to win their sectional out of the 8 teams. And right now we've got they're finishing up the senior day festivities. We had our senior day back in week 1, but Martinsville's having theirs tonight, as most schools do it the day of their regular season finale, regular season home finale. And it looks like we've got a crowd here. I'd say 2,500, maybe 3,000 fans here on the home side of the field. So we've got about a fourth of the population of Martinsville literally here in the home bleachers tonight. Meanwhile, across the field in the visiting bleachers, we have about 150 Plainfield fans who made the trip about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes in Friday rush hour traffic. And we still got some fans filing in, walking over toward the visiting bleachers. So, Plainfield always travels really well. Heck, I think we had 70 or 80 fans who made the trip 2 days in a row up to Harrison back in week 2. When we had the game rained out or lightninged out on Friday, and then brought it, and then came back the next day, like I did too. It really made me regret that I didn't have a friend or relative I could stay with overnight. But anyway, it was worth it because we got that win. But yeah, Martinsville, just incredibly, incredible support for this team. They've been knocking on the door for a long time, a lot of winning seasons, but they've just had some bad luck, bad luck in the tournament. This year, they've got a good shot to go a long way. So does Plainfield. I'm going to be talking more about that at halftime. We had the draw. The draw was announced on Sunday, and we got most of what I want. It's nice for once we did get a good draw. It's been a long darn time since we did, and I think the football gods owed it to us. So, I wish Coach Woodard were around for it, because I think Coach Woodard probably got more bad draws than any coach in tournament history, and he was very vocal about the way the tournament was set up. Well, I'll talk more about it at halftime, but anyway, nevertheless, Plainfield will be opening their playoff. Will be opening the playoffs at home for the first time in 10 years. 2 weeks from tonight, for what should be an easy win over the Anderson Indians. Then assuming we win, then we will play the winner of the Whiteland Decatur Central game for the sectional championship the next week. But more about that later. Right now, with the halftime clock stopped at 10 minutes, let's take a look at the other 5 Hendricks County teams, what they're up to. Starting in 6A, Brownsburg holds at number 1 in the AP poll for the 3rd consecutive week after a surprisingly close 22-18 win over the Noblesville Millers. Though it should be noted that while Noblesville is 2-6, 5 of their 6 wins are by 7 points or less. And now Brownsburg is 8-0 tonight. They visit 5-3 Hamilton Southeastern. Avon broke a 5-game losing streak with a 21-14 win over Zionsville. The Orioles are now 2-6 and tonight visit Noblesville. Avon is going for its first season of at least 3 wins in 4 years. Hard to believe, hard to believe that's the case, as dominant as the Orioles were in the 2010s under Mark Bless, current Plainfield assistant and father of our current head coach. Hopefully they will get back on track. In Class 4A, Danville moved up 2 notches in the rankings to number 9 with their 7th consecutive win since their opening loss. The Warriors beat Western Boone 28-9, giving the Stars their first loss of the season. Tonight, Danville hosts the 3-5 North Montgomery Chargers. Should be an easy win for Danville. In number 3, in Class 3A, Cascade is now 8-0 for the first time in school history. Before this year, they'd never been more than 4-0. They got an easy 56-7 win over Greencastle. And tonight, the Cadets are almost certain to clinch their first ever undefeated regular season as they host the 0-8 Owen Valley Patriots. And finally, rounding out the county, also in Class 3A, the Tri-West Bruins got their second consecutive win after their 3 consecutive losses. It was also their second consecutive shutout. Tri-West 2 weeks ago beat North Montgomery. Beat North Montgomery 70-0. Last week they beat the Crawfordsville Athenians 42-0. Tonight at 4-4, Tri-West hosts the 3-5 Southmont Mounties. So, I'll tell you, they must, they must tonight have, they must be introducing not only football, but cheerleading and every other fall sport, because they have literally, I'd say, over 100 people lined up on the field right now. And the pregame clock still stalled at 10 minutes. But great to see all the people here, and great to see how enthusiastic this Martinsville community is. And I'll tell you, I can't speak for other Quaker fans, but personally, I always cheer for the other Mid-State Conference teams in the tournament, except obviously not when they're playing Plainfield. But, like, for example, I was cheering on Whiteland when they got to the Class 5A state championship game 2 years ago. I was cheering on Decatur Central when they got there in 2018 and 2023. In fact, those are only 3 of the only 4 state championship game appearances by the Mid-State Conference, the other being Plainfield in 2000. So this conference has yet to win a state championship. Hopefully that will change this year. Hopefully it'll be Plainfield. But also keep in mind another thing is that of the 7 other teams in the conference besides Plainfield, 4 of them we currently cannot meet in the playoffs because they're in other classes. We got Perry Meridian in 6A, and then we've got Mooresville, Greenwood, and Martinsville in 4A, and then of course the other 3 teams are in 5A with us, and 2 of them are in our sectional. Whiteland and Decatur Central, and then Franklin is the other one. They're also a 5A team. Well, 6:58 your time of day. We'll see if they we'll see what they do as far as the time, if they cut the 10 minutes short to get the game started. But now the field is cleared. So congratulations to all the Martinsville seniors. And except for tonight, I wish them great luck. And I'd love to see Martinsville win the state championship this year. Greenwood doesn't look like they have much of a chance, although they'll probably win at least 1, maybe 2 playoff games because they got a good draw. And then Mooresville, just after a disastrous 1-4 start where they really struggled defensively, Mooresville's now come on strong, won 2 of their last 3. They should be back on track. Should be a handful for us next year when we face their star quarterback, Connor Cruz, as a senior. And now here's Plainfield coming onto the field, getting a standing ovation from their home fans. So we got about 200 Plainfield fans here. The Quakers showing a lot of enthusiasm. It's not a disaster if they lose this game. Not a disaster, but I'll tell you, certainly, I don't think we could have a better tune-up for the playoffs than this game tonight against Martinsville. And most years, I would consider it a disappointment to lose to Martinsville because they're a class below us. But this game, as long as we play well, if we have a close loss to Martinsville, I will not consider that to be a disappointment. Keep in mind, not only are they 8-0, they've beaten 4 teams in Class 5A and 1 team in Class 6A. By the way, Plainfield in 5A, we've beaten 2 6A teams this year, Perry Meridian and Harrison. Yes, Harrison is 6A this year. They moved up after being not only in 5A, but in our sectional the last 2 years. Okay, they got the clock running now down under 8 minutes. That's good. I got about an hour drive home to East Indianapolis, so don't want to wait too long. So now Plainfield out on the sidelines. We're waiting the arrival of Martinsville, for what should be, a huge ovation from their crowd. Tonight is the 24th meeting between Plainfield and Martinsville. the two teams played every year from 1951 to 53. Then in 1963 and 64, Plainfield won all 5 of those games. Then they've played every year from 2006 to present, starting when Martinsville joined the Mid-State Conference. And since then, Plainfield has had a 10-8 edge in the series. It's been very competitive. So Plainfield leads the overall edge. The Plainfield's edge in the overall series is 15-8. But again, the first 5 of those were in the 1950s and 60s. It's been nearly even since the modern series began in 2006. Last year, Plainfield entered the game as the favorite, especially because the game was played in heavy rain, which seems to favor which on paper would normally have us favored Plainfield. However, Martinsville completely dominated the game with a series of short passes and short rushes by Braden Shrake, and completely played the game that they wanted to play rather than the game we wanted to play, which is exactly what Whiteland had done to us the week before. And those 2 losses really set the tone for our first round tournament exits up at Harrison, causing our 3-game losing streak to end the season. Plainfield seemed to have learned that this year by getting a very comfortable 32-7 win over Whiteland last week. The last time Plainfield played down here was 2 years ago. Martinsville led that game 17-7 going into the last quarter, but 4-year starter Noah Hessing, a senior who had mainly played wide receiver but was playing running back for that game and much of the season, got 2 rushing touchdowns in the fourth quarter to give Plainfield the win, and that ended a 2-game losing streak for the Quakers. And not only that, but it also, was a preview of what was to come, because later in the playoffs, Noah Hessing made the probably the biggest catch in school history in the sectional championship game when Plainfield trailed 10-6 in the final seconds. Hessing caught a 19-yard pass from Hunter Newell with 1.3 seconds to go, giving Plainfield only the second sectional championship in school history, and giving Coach Brian Woodard his first sectional championship as a head coach in his farewell season. He had been an assistant coach on the 2000 sectional championship team, which also went all the way to the state championship game. And now Martinsville entering to a thunderous ovation. By the way, this is my 6th time commentating here at Martinsville, but my first time commentating in the home press box. All of my previous times here, I've been commentating in the visitors press box. I have mixed feelings about it. I like being in the visitors press box, especially when I'm the only one there, except for my son Liam, who usually goes with me to these games. He's here with me right now. I like the peace and quiet of the visitors press box, but on the flip side, right now I have a much better view of the field. Generally, in visitors press boxes, you're pretty low, so you don't have as good a view of the game. I have a better view of the field than I have in my past broadcasts here, so that's good. Hopefully, the noise in the back won't be too bad for you, because we do have, and now that we'll pause for the national anthem.
Which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Let's go to camera 2. And we'll get ready to go to camera 3. So, yep. All right. You ready, Scott? Cole, you can go back. Let's go to 4. Zoom in on somebody, Cole. Trying to look to see there's a trumpet that does something. Like, zoom in on one of the trumpets. Put a 2.
camera number 1. Let's get ready to go to camera 4. Go to 4. Why does he have? Oh, because he's got concussion too. Go to camera 2. Or yeah. Now let's go to camera 3. And then we'll end it with 1 here in just a second. 1.
Well, thank you to the Martinsville Marching Artisans for that lovely rendition of the national anthem. 7:07 your time of day now. We're a little later than usual for the kickoff tonight. We had a very, very long senior day program for Martinsville. I guess they honor their seniors in every fall sport. So anyway, 12 minutes now sit on the clock. And now the captain's coming out to the well on the middle of the field for the opening coin toss. And then now here come the Martinsville, the captains. Yes, pretty much. So now they're doing the coin toss here, and I'll tell you, this is one of the. This might be the biggest game in the state tonight that does not involve 6A teams. On one side you have, Plainfield, 7-1. On the other side you have Martinsville, 8-0. So 15-1, the combined record of these two teams tonight. So right now, this week, by the way, we've had so much else to talk about. I haven't really talked about the rankings, but Plainfield is at number 5 in both the AP and USA Today network polls this week. Been as high as number 1 this week for 3 weeks in the. They've been at number 1 this week for 3 weeks in at least one of the 2 major polls. That is AP and USA Today. Currently ranked number 7, by the way, in the IFCA coaches poll. So Plainfield will be kicking off. Leo Hayab, a very good senior season for the Quakers kicker. He's kicked off 44 times. 24% of them were touchbacks after he had only 3 touchbacks last year. Should be playing college ball a year from now with a leg like that. Hopefully he'll get with the kind of offense Martinsville has, hopefully he'll get a lot of touchbacks tonight. It's a deep kick, and it is taken around the 3, right up to the 5, 10, 15, 20. He's got a hole, and dives close to the 30 there. So Martinsville now will start the Artisans with blue jerseys and dark red numbers. Not a very good color scheme from a commentator's perspective. Start off with 2 receivers to each side. A.J. Reynolds, a very big college prospect, is their quarterback. He's having an outstanding season. Empty backfield. And now a handoff there to one of the receivers, but he's brought down for a loss. All right. We were right on top of him. All right. So good job for the Plainfield's defense. That was Landon Casey there on the rush for Martinsville. So that was a 1 yard loss. 2nd and 11 now for the Artisans. 11:21 to go in the first quarter. 2 receivers and now fakes the handoff, and it is just caught by Sanders. He got up for about 12 or 13. So good way to shake off that. Good job by Martinsville shaking off that first. After that tackle for loss there. So 1st and 10 for the Artesians at their own 42. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 1 running back. And now handoff, and Casey, he's this time breaks through, and he gets for about 7 up to about the 50. Landon Casey, a sophomore. Give him credit for 8 on that one after being brought down for -1 on his first carry. So 2nd and 2 for the Artesians at the 50, showing why they're the number 2 ranked team in their class and why they're undefeated so far in the first 2 minutes of this game. It's a great way to, great way to end the regular season for the Quakers. And now a throw deep down the left side, and it is incomplete. He threw it in double coverage. It went off the fingertips of the intended receiver, so that'll bring up 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10 for the Artesians at the 50. 3rd and 2, excuse me, 3rd and 2. Sorry. So I'd imagine they're in 4-down territory, but anyway, now keep their keeper there by Reynolds. He gets the first down, and Moore gets about 6. So Reynolds on his first rush moves the chains. Reynolds is a very good rushing quarterback. Give him credit for 5 on that one. 1st and 10 now at the Quakers 45. We got some movement. No flag, however. 16 on the play clock. Still no score. 9:33 to go in the first quarter at Martinsville. Regular season finale. Now Casey gets it, and he goes up for about 4. Casey gets credit for 4 on that one. He has 3 for 11 so far. So after stopping Casey for a 1-yard loss on Martinsville's first play, Plainfield has not managed to slow down this powerful Martinsville offense. They have it 2nd and 6 now at the Plainfield 41, 8:55 to go and counting in the first quarter. Fakes the handoff now, throws up the middle, and now Hunter Stroud there has got a first down inside the 30. So it's going to be a gain of about 12. This is a very senior-dominated team there for the Artesians. So Reynolds has completed 2 of 3 passes for 26 yards. So now 1 receiver at each side now. And now Stroud on a carry, and he's knocked out of bounds there for about 3. So the clock stops. So 3 Artesians have rushed here on this opening possession. Give them 3 on that one. 2nd and 7 for the Artesians at the Plainfield 26, 8:17 to go and counting. Here in the first quarter, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Reynolds in shotgun. And now throws. Oh, and did he get it? So yes, I didn't think. I didn't think he was going to be able to catch it in bounds, but Hunter Stroud gets the gain for about 17 yards. No, sorry, it was Mason Dodson there. Excuse me. So a 17-yard pickup there. So 3 different Artesians have caught a pass there on the first possession of the game. And the Artesians now have the ball 1st and goal at the 9, 8:12 to go. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now fakes the handoff, and Reynolds takes it in easily for the touchdown. So Reynolds, 2 keepers on the opening drive, the last one for a 9-yard touchdown. And now we have some kind of light show here on the field. So the Artesians score easily on their first possession. Keep in mind that Martinsville this season has beaten the other. Oh, hold on. And now they're going for the 2-point conversion. He's pressed, gets rid of it, and it is caught. Yeah. So Dotson catches the 2-point conversion when Reynolds was about to get sacked. Keep it. Hopefully history will repeat it. Hopefully history will repeat itself. Now a deep kick taken around the 10 up to the 15, 20. Ellis got it at the 25, 30, 35. Stopped right around. And so Plainfield will take over with 8:02 to go. And I'm in the second row here in the press box, by the way. And it's not very elevated, and it's quite a bit back from the front row. So at times I have to stand up to get a full view of the field. So I will do the best I can here. So now Wayrich and Starnes in the backfield. I believe it's Garver and Ellis now. Ellis to the left, Garver to the right. Bryce Sabank and the sophomore at quarterback got his first 2 passing touchdowns of his career last week in the big win over Whiteland. We're probably going to need a big game for him tonight if we're going to have a chance to win this one. Keep in mind, though, if we lose this one, it's not a disaster. This might be better than Martinsville might be better than anybody who will play in the playoffs, and I'm not exaggerating. So now Starnes, the first offensive play for the Quakers, takes it. He fakes the handoff. No, he doesn't. So Weston Wayrich takes it, and he's brought down to start off the offense for the Quakers. So a 2-yard loss by Wayrich. 2nd and 12. So we got Ellis and Garver now to the right, Wayrich and Starnes in the backfield. And now hand off there to Wayrich. This time he gets positive yards, but he's going to be far short of the first down. Give him credit for 4 there. 3rd and 8 for the Quakers. Very critical 3rd and 8 here on their first possession. Martinsville, we're accustomed to seeing good Martinsville teams, but we're not accustomed to seeing Martinsville teams like this. This might be the best team in school history. 3 receivers now to the right, 1 to the left, empty backfield now. Starnes heads back into the backfield now, and he takes it, and he's got some room, and he's got the first down and more past the 45. So Luke Starnes, the first big offensive play for the Quakers, gets about 11 there on his first carry of the game. So the Quakers are not rolling over and dying. 1st and 11 now for the 1st and 10 now for the Quakers after that 11-yard gain by Starnes. 1st and 10 now at their own 46. Same formation again. And now handoff, screen pass is complete there. And he's got past the 45, 40. That was Ryan Garver there. So Plainfield continues to improve in passing. 17 yards now. So I really admire Plainfield for the aggression that they're showing on this drive. So now 1st and 10 at the 37 for the Quakers. So 2 receivers now to the left, Starnes and Wayrich in the backfield. 5:44 to go and counting, first quarter. And now Plainfield has taken its first half of the game with 5:44 to go. 7:22 your time of day, and I am going now to try to catch my breath here. Wow, very frantic start to this game. Plainfield went down 8-0 when Martinsville scored easily on the first possession on a 9-yard keeper by quarterback A.J. Reynolds, the senior superstar. However, Plainfield now, after Luke Starnes rushed with a big 11 yards on 3rd and 8, that seemed to get Plainfield going. Keep in mind, last week they went down 7-0, then came back to win 32-7. So still a lot to feel good about. And I normally don't like taking timeouts anytime other than the last 2 minutes of the half, but I understand why Coach did in this situation. And now fake standoff to Starnes. Sabank screen pass. It is complete. That was to Brandon Henry, and he gets close to a first. So 2 consecutive completions now by Sabank. I guess those 2 touchdown passes last week gave him, a jolt of confidence there. So 2nd and 2 for the Quakers now at the Martinsville 29. Now hands off to Wayrich, and he breaks through, and he's getting close to another first down. He gets about 8 up the middle. All right. So 8 yards there by Wayrich. So 1st and 10 now for the Quakers. They're knocking on the door of the red zone. They're at the Martinsville 21. So Garver and Ellis to the right. And now handoff there to Starnes. He's got to run on the left side, past the 20, past the 15. He could get the first down. It's going to be really close. Let's see where they what they credit him with. His first. Okay, they give him credit for 8 on that one. He had 11 on his first. So 2nd and 2 now for the Quakers at the Martinsville 13. 4:15 to go. 1 receiver to each side. Starnes and Wayrich and the running back. Now Starnes gets it again, and he goes into the end zone for the touchdown on the left side. All right. So now we're a 2-point conversion away from tying it. All right. So at 8-6 now. So wow. When we got down 3rd and 8 on our first series of downs, and now we're going for the 2-point conversion to tie it. Now, wait. Well, looks like they're going to go for the. Now they line up to go for the single point. Last week is the opposite. We were tied. We're down 7-0. Went for the 2. This time we're it was 8-0, and we go for the 1 and hit it. So the Quakers, Coach Tyler Bless showing some confidence in his kids there, showing that he believes they're going to get more chances, and based on how well they moved on that drive, he might be right. So Luke Starnes was 3 for 32 on that drive. Western Wayrich 3 for 10, and Starnes' 16th touchdown of the season, averaging nearly 2 a game here in week 9. Sabank also completed both of his passes on that drive. One to Garver for 17, one to Henry for 8. So, well, I'm exhausted. And this has been an exhausting season, but I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that just so much has happened, and of course the 3 lightning delays, 2 of which resulted in the games being played on Saturday. So your score: Martinsville 8, Plainfield 7. The Quakers set to kick off. Each team scored a touchdown on its first possession. And now Henry kicks not quite a touchback, and Hunter Stroud brings it up to about the 34 or so. But I'll tell you, the play of the game so far from Plainfield is that 11-yard rush on third and 8 when the Quakers were at the Martinsville 35. That was huge. So 2 receivers to the left now, 1 to the right. 1 running back. Hands off to Casey. This time they're ready for him. He gets forward for about 2. Okay, so Casey. Okay, they give him a better spot than I thought. They give him 5 on that. So 4 for 16 so far. 2nd and 5 now for the Artesians at their own 39. 3:34 to go and counting here in the first quarter. Process. Reynolds is 4 of 6 to start off today. So 1st and 10 now, Martinsville at their own 49. Under 3 minutes to go. Martinsville 8, Plainfield 7. 1 receiver at each side. Casey, the running back, gets the handoff, and he's up for about 3 or 4. His 5th carry of the game. So 2nd and 6 now. They give Casey credit for 4. So Casey, one of the few big stars for the Artesians offense, who's not a senior. He is a sophomore. 2nd and 6 for Martinsville at the Plainfield 47, and now they blitz him, but they leave a man wide open, and they get the first down inside the 40. Who was that receiver? So Casey there on that reception. It's his first reception of the game. Picks up 11 yards there. And now Reynolds, and now he throws deep, and it is going, and it's broken up. He threw it in double coverage. So 2nd and 10 now for the Artesians at the 36. Reynolds has completed 5 of 8. He's completed 5 passes to 4 receivers. So 2nd and 10 now for the Artesians at their own 36. At the Plainfield 36, excuse me, with a 1-point lead. So 2 receivers to the left now. Quakers have put some pretty good pressure on Reynolds tonight, but he's really good at getting rid of it. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 running back. And now they pressure Casey again, and he gets it off. But Jones was the intended receiver, but he just it was just off his fingertips. So now 3rd and 10 now for the Artesians after 2 consecutive incompletions. Reynolds now 5 of 9. He completes nearly 75 passes He's completed nearly 75 passes on the season coming into tonight. And now 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. One running back. Casey, the running back, takes it and now throws the screen pass, and it's Sanders, and he's brought down. It's going to be short of the first. It's going to bring up 4th and 3 or 4th and 4. So Sanders with his Draven Sanders with a 6-yard reception. 4th and 4 now. Very big play for the Quakers defense after Sanders got 6 to make it 4th and 4 there. And now we got some movement on the line, but no flag. 8 seconds on the play clock. Now 4, 3, and now he gets a handoff, and it's complete. He threw it to Hunter Stroud immediately, and he's brought down for a gain of 6 or 7. So incredible quick release there for for A.J. Reynolds, the senior superstar quarterback for the Artesians. They gave him more than I thought they'd give him 6. They gave him 8. Sanders 3 for 28 so far in this game. 1st and 10 at the 22 for the Artesians. 35 seconds to go and counting in the quarter. Martinsville leading 8-7. And now handoff there to Casey. He gets up for about 4. Very well could be the last play of the quarter. And that's the 6th rush of the game by Landon Casey. Last name spelled C-A-Z-E. They give him credit for 3 on that one. And now they get in formation, and I think they might just be trying to draw Plainfield off guard. Yeah. So I think they're trying to draw Plainfield off sides, but nevertheless, the clock runs out, and after 1 quarter of play here at Martinsville, your score, Martinsville 8, Plainfield 7. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to thank them, and we hope you will support them. They are Remax Centerstone, Julia Berberich, Ganell Financial, Crone Family Construction, My IT Indy Ryan Grimes, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crest Point Real Estate, Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellis and Associates. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here. Well, just a second. What? So Cascade apparently is about to clinch their first undefeated regular season. They lead already over Owen Valley 28-0 on Cascade Senior Day out there in Clayton. But anyway, back here at Martinsville, we're about to start the second quarter here with your Plainfield Quakers trailing the Martinsville Artesians 8-7. Martinsville has the ball 2nd and 7 at the Plainfield 19. It's been a very, very intense game of dynamics between these 2 outstanding teams, 2 state championship contending teams here in the regular season finale, trying to end the regular season with momentum. 2 receivers now to the left, 1 to the right, 1 running back for the Artesians, their quarterback. And now handoff, and now we got a fake, and now they throw to the quarterback, but he's brought down for just a short gain. So good effort there. Hunter Stroud threw to the quarterback, but he only picks up a couple of yards. It was worth a try. A lot of people forget that the quarterback is an eligible receiver. Oh, they say no gain. Okay. Nevertheless, Reynolds now the 4th Artesian to catch a pass tonight. So 3rd and 7 now at the 19. Big 3rd down for the Quakers. Obviously, the Artesians in 4th down territory. But anyway, so now Reynolds rolls right, throws to the end zone, and it's too low. Incomplete, bringing up 4th and 7. Boy, that would be huge if we got him off the field without scoring any points here. Reynolds has completed 7 of 12 passes, which is good, but it is below his average. He's completed nearly 75% on the season. So 11-10 to go now here in the second quarter. 7:37 your time of day. This is game 9 of 9 of the regular season. These 2 teams with a combined record of 15-1. Martinsville 8-0. Plainfield 7-1. Martinsville ranked 2nd in his class. Plainfield 5th in his class. So now the Artesians line up for they were looking for their lineup for a field goal. Now they take a timeout. So yeah, it's wow. I'm just gonna catch my breath here. But I'll tell you, this season has just been so intense. You know, our first 2 games, we trailed in the 4th quarter, and then, we've had 2 games where we played on Saturday. One after we had already made the roughly hour and a half trip up there to Tippecanoe County. Then we, sat through the hour and 16-minute delay at Greenwood. So the boys have faced a lot of adversity this year, but they've responded very well to it. And it's great that we're ending. Whether we win or lose tonight, certainly hope we win. But even if we lose, it's great that we're ending the regular season with probably our toughest opponent of the season. From what I've seen so far in a little over a quarter, I believe that these guys are better than Decatur Central, who is the best team we played all season prior to tonight. So now the Artesians going for a field goal. This is a 35-yarder here. It is up, and it's good. It's good off the crossbar. So the Artesians do take the lead. They extend to their lead, but they didn't get the touchdown. At least it was not a good-looking kick, but it did hit the crossbar and bounce over, which you very rarely see. Wow. So 11:03 to go, but the thing is now, if we just get a touchdown here on this ensuing possession, then we will have the lead, regardless of the conversion. So now now the Artesians getting ready to kick off with the 4-point lead. And now a mid-range kick, and the Quakers, we better be ready. We better. It bobbled off somebody's hands. I think we got it. Boy, that was, wow. That was a. Okay, we got it. Boy, that was a tense one. Wow. Wow. So the Quakers will take over at their own 33. So now, short pass to Ellis. It gets about 4 or 5. So Sabanka's completed 3 of 3 passes to start off the game. Ethan Ellis, a very promising sophomore with 3 touchdowns on the season, 1 receiving, 2 rushing. Give him 5 on that one. So each reception for Plainfield coming from a different receiver. Hendry and Garver each have 1 as well. 2nd and 5 now. Now Sabank takes. He's got room on the left side. He's going to run for the first down. He's got it 45, 50. No, I'm sorry, that was Ellis. All right, he gets it all the way to the 30. All right. So sorry, that was a good trick play there. Ethan Ellis has already he had a 77-yard touchdown on a play like that against it was, I believe, in against Franklin. But anyway, that was he took it from 133 to the other 32. So 35-yard rush there by Ellis, proving to be a very dangerous player there. And now hand off there to Stark. He's got room on the right side, inside the 35, 20, and out of bounds near the 15. So okay, so 15 there for Starnes. He's 4 for 17 and 4 for 47 and a touchdown. 4 for 47 and a touchdown. So 1st and 10 now. The Quakers at the Martinsville 17 in the red zone, trailing 11-7. A touchdown will put us in the lead. 9:49 to go in the second quarter. Two receivers to the left. One, and now Starnes takes the handoff. He's inside the 15, inside the 10, and he's close to the first down. So Luke Starnes, with his fifth rush of the game, he's over 1,200 yards coming into tonight. Gets another 9 there, 5 for 56 on the game. 9:25 to go. So that the Quakers, are holding the Artesians to a field goal on that last drive was very big. So one receiver at each side now. Starnes in there at running back, takes it again, and he breaks through for the touchdown, and we got the lead. Yes. So Luke Starnes, 8 yards for the touchdowns, and the Quakers take their first lead of the game, 13-11, with the conversion pending. Starnes now with 17 touchdowns on the season, 2 in the game, 6 for 64 in this game. All right. So now the Quakers line up to go for 2, and did we get it? Yes, we got it. So it's a 15-11 lead. All right. Only the third 2-point conversion attempt on the season for the Quakers. We're 3 for 3. Now, keep in mind, we went for 22-point conversions last year, made 13 of them, a whopping 65%. All right. Man, it's 7:45, and I'm already tired. So your Quakers now trying to give Martinsville their first loss. Each team has scored on every possession, but Plainfield has scored a touchdown on both possessions. Martinsville's settled for a field goal on their last one. Starnes' touchdowns coming from 13 and 8 yards tonight. Key play on that drive, a 35-yard rush by Ethan Ellis, taking it from the Martinsville 33 to the Plainfield 32. 9:06 to go here in the second quarter. Plainfield 15, Martinsville 11. The Artesians have not lost this season. And keep in mind, even though they're a 4A team, 5 of their wins came from higher class teams. 4 teams in Class 5A, 1 in Class 6A, Perry Meridian. So now another Hayab, and it's fielded around the 7, right up to the 15, 20. And now he goes over to the left side, now tries to find some room on the right, and he is brought down just past the 20. So Hunter Stroud really trying to get something big there. So I think the thing is Martinsville's starting to think that they can't stop Plainfield's offense. Certainly haven't been able to so far. Not that Plainfield's been able to stop Martinsville's very well, but we did hold them to a field goal last time, and that is the difference in this game now. Plainfield leading 15-11. And Coach Bless is starting to look like a conversion genius. Hold that thought. But anyway, so 2 receivers to the left, now 1 to the right. Reynolds, low snap, but he gets it and hands it over to Stroud, and he's brought down for a gain of about 3. But we got a flag, though. Face mask against the Quakers. So 8:52 to go now in the second quarter. Your score, Plainfield 15, Martinsville 11. Both of these teams state championship contenders in their class. Martinsville ranked 5th. Martinsville ranked 2nd in Class 4A. Plainfield 5th in 5A. And it's, by the way, if Martinsville wins this game tonight, they will win the Mid-State Conference. If Plainfield wins, they will, I believe there will be a 3-way tie between us, Martinsville, and Decatur Central. Nevertheless, it would be great to get even a co-conference championship. So now 1st and 10 at the 39, and Reynolds got plenty of time. He throws deep up the middle, and it's caught inside the 35, and he's brought down around the 25. Mason Dotson, who had the touchdown earlier, and that's going to be a pickup of about 37 yards there. So Reynolds already over. Already over 100 yards on the game. So now the two receivers now to each side. And now Casey takes the handoff, gets it up for about 3 or 4. So 2 yards there by Casey on his 7th carry of the game. He has 25 yards, about 3.5 a carry. 2nd and 8 now at the Plainfield 22. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. The Artesians trying to get the lead back. Each team has scored on all of its possessions so far, but Martinsville settles for a field goal once, which is why Plainfield has the lead, 15-11. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now hands off to the Casey, but he runs into one of his own men, and he's brought down for a big loss. So it's going to be 3rd and long, very big for the Quakers. So it's a loss of 3 on that play. So bringing up a very big 30-11. Come on, we got to get them off the field here. Even if they get a field goal, we'll still be ahead by 1. So now a 3rd and 11. What the Artesians at the 25. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And now fakes the handoff there. Now again, gives it up to Casey. He's up. He gets about 6, but it's going to be well short of the 1st down. So will they go for another field goal, or will they go for it here? So give Casey credit 6 there. And I have him 9 of 28 now. Or nearly halfway through the 2nd quarter here, 7:50 your time of day. They're going for it on 4th and 5, or at least. And now Reynolds looks over to the sideline. 17 seconds on the play clock. 2 receivers now to the right, 1 to the left. 1 running back. Now he looks to the sideline again. Down to 10 seconds now on the play clock. Now gets back into formation here. And now takes it. And now we nearly got him. We got him for a sack. Yes. And if the ball comes out, but they're down. They're down. And Plainfield takes over on downs. All right. So the Quakers with the lead in the ball. 5:54 to go in the 2nd quarter. Now the best case scenario here, get a touchdown with little time left. Take a 2-possession lead, then get the ball. First, start the 2nd half, come down and make it a 3-possession lead and put this thing away. All right. Excellent. We've been putting such pressure on Reynolds all night. He's got a great release. He's got some great receivers. But we kept believing in our blitz, and we finally got him. So Plainfield taking over with a 4-point lead at their own 36. 5:54 to go in the quarter. Now let's do it, boys. Now Sabank takes it. Screen pass complete. And he's got a 1st down past the 50, past the 45, 40. Gets over to the left side of the field, inside the 30. And he's past the 25. So Ethan Ellis is his 2nd big gain of the evening. Oh, my God. What a speedster. So that's going to be 42 yards there for Sabank to Ellis. Ellis has completed all 4 of his passes tonight for 72 yards. Got his first 2 touchdowns of the season last week. Also has 2 rushing touchdowns on the season. And now fakes the handoff. He takes it himself. He's past the 20. Is up to about the 15. So Bryce Sabank with a good rush there. Good keeper there by Sabank. So Sabank with his first keeper. Gets 7 there. 2nd and 3 now at the 15. Come on, let's get that 2-touchdown lead. 4:42 to go and counting here in the 2nd quarter. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Sabank. Now hands off to Wayrich, and he gets inside the 10 up to about the 5, so he's got the 1st down and much more. So the Quakers knocking on the door of taking that 2-possession lead. 10 yards there by Wayrich. I have him 4 for 20 now, or 4 for 19, excuse me. First and goal at the 6, and now handoff there, and Wayrich takes it. He's going to be close to the touchdown. He might. It looks like they stopped him about a yard short. Okay, they give him credit for 4 yards down to the 2. So second and goal at the 2 now for the Quakers, leading 15 to 11. One receiver at each side now. Wayrich, the running back. Wayrich gets it, and he plows his way in for the touchdown, his 13th of the season. And the Quakers now take a 21-11 lead with the conversion pending. All right. Wayrich 6 for 25 and a touchdown now. So 30 touchdowns on the season between the 2 lead actors, 17 for Starnes, 13 for Wayrich. And Plainfield's for real. Now it looks like Hayab is going to kick the extra point. He hit his first tonight. This one is up, and it is good. So the Quakers now doubling up on the Artesians, 22-11, 3:45 to go in the half. Now this is a very critical possession for the Quakers, because if very critical defensive stand for the Quakers, because if they hold the Artesians without any points in this last 3:45, then Plainfield will get the ball with to start the second half with a chance to take a 3-possession lead that would be very hard for Martinsville to overcome. And by the way, both teams with 2 timeouts, so hopefully we will do that. Martinsville has driven down inside the Plainfield 30 on every possession, but after scoring easily on their first possession, they settle for a field goal on their second possession, and then turned it over on downs on their third possession. Plainfield has scored a touchdown on all 3 possessions. All rushing touchdowns, 2 by Starnes, 1 by Wayrich. 22-11 Plainfield. All right. Glad to see Wayrich got another touchdown too. Wayrich, by the way, earlier this season in the Greenwood game, tied the school record in school record for rushing touchdowns in the game with 5 in that shutout win. I'm sorry, I think it was the Prairie Meridian game. Excuse me. They all run together. And now the Plainfield recovers. The Plainfield recovers. Yes, they bobbled the kickoff. All right. So Plainfield recovers inside the red zone. So let's get this touchdown here and just put this thing away. All right. Wow, what a way to end the regular season if we hold on for this win here. Martinsville entering the game undefeated. But man. So let's just get this touchdown here. Plainfield taking over at the 19, already with an 11-point lead, 3:42 to go in the half. 7:57 your time of day. Looks like we got Garver and Ellis now to the left again. Starnes in the backfield. Starnes takes it, and he's cuts right now, goes forward. He gets inside the 10. He's got the first down. He pick up about 12 there. Luke Starnes already with 2 touchdowns tonight, threatening to make it 3. $12 yards there. Starnes 7 for 76 in this game and 2 touchdowns. First and goal for the Quakers now at the 7. 3:22 to go and counting in the half. So Ellis and Garver line up to the left. Starnes, the running back, Sabank in shotgun. Takes a snap, gives it to Sabank again. He's inside the Ellis gives it to Ellis on a fake, and he's inside the 5, and it's knocked out of bounds after a pickup of 2 or 3. So Ellis is really great at taking the ball on trick plays. Give him 2 on that one, bringing up second and goal at the 5. 3 and 42 on rushing for Ellis, 2 for 47 on receiving. So now we've got Garver out to the right, Ellis to the left. Starnes the running back, second and goal at the 5. Sabank takes it, hands off to Starnes. He's up the middle. He's going to get up 2 or 3. He doesn't quite get in, but he's going to be close. Under 3 minutes to go. Just to give him another 3 there. 8 for 79 and 2 touchdowns on the game for Starnes. And it's good that, if we end up getting this touchdown, it's good that we're, taking a little more time off the clock this way by not running it in right away. So third and 2 now. So Garver to the left, Ellis to the right, both running backs in there now. And now Starnes gets up. They stopped him short of so bringing up 4th down. I assume we'll go for this, but they actually got him for a 1-yard loss there on Starnes. I think it's the first time Starnes has not gained positive yards all game. Now, if we go for a field goal here, and Plainfield has just taken a second timeout, I believe. So here's the situation. With 2:02 to go, if we go for a field goal here, this would be the same distance as an extra point. Now, on the season coming into tonight, Hayob is Hayob's 33 of 31 on PATs. Obviously, it would be a high probability that he would make this, and that would make it 25-11. So the question now, do they want to go for that, or do they want to go for the touchdown that would give us at least a 3-possession lead? It would be 28, even if we did not get a conversion point, it would be 28-11, 17-point lead, which means they would need at least 3 possessions to catch us. And remember, we get the ball first to start the second half. So that would means that we would have a very good chance to get a 4-possession lead early in the third quarter. That would basically put this one away. So now here we go. Back to action here at Martinsville. Plainfield, Plainfield 4th and goal at the 3, with 2:02 to go in the first half. Plainfield leading 22-11. 2 receivers to the left, one to the right. Both running backs in there. Sabank in shotgun, takes a snap, hands off to Wayrich, and he's got the touchdown. Yes. So we got that 3-possession lead. 28-11 with the conversion pending. Weston Wayrich, touchdown number 2 of the game, touchdown number 14 on the season for the senior. All right. Oh, my God. What an incredible performance. For the second consecutive week. Hold that thought. So now it looks like we're going to go for the PAT. Stroud 31. I'm sorry. Hayob 31 for 33 on the season coming up to this point. This one is up and it is good. So it's 29-11 with 2 minutes to go. Oh, man. So Weston Wayrich, 2 touchdowns in the last 145. 1 from 2 yards, 1 from 3. Wow. So Martinsville, after the 8-0 start, self-destructing tonight. They do have likely 3 easy wins coming up in the sectional. I wish them well. I would love it if they won the Class 4A state championship, but glad Plainfield's apparently going to get the win tonight. So that would mean that we get a share of the Mid-State Conference Championship. We finished 8-1, our first 8-win season in 15 years. Now, all we have to do the rest of this half, exactly 2 minutes left now. All we have to do now is take away the big play. Then we get the ball, we get a touchdown and a conversion to start off the second half. And we do get the ball first. That would make it 36-11. That's a 4-possession lead, and that would virtually clinch it. Oh my God. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. For the second consecutive week, our opponent gets the ball first, scores easily on the first possession. I fear the worst. And then we come back and just, kick their donkeys the rest of the way. And now it's a good return there on the guy broke 3 or 4 tackles, got it past the 30. Draven Sanders there, the first name Draven, as in Eric Draven, the Brandon Lee character in the classic movie The Crow. I bet that's probably where he got his name, because that movie is the only place I've ever heard the name Draven before as a first or last name. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 1 running back takes a snap. He's got plenty of time. Looks, and we run him for a sack. Yes, yes, yes. We're going for the jugular here. All right. Wow, I love the aggression that we're playing with, even with an 18-point lead here. Oh, my God. And we got him for a 12-yard loss there. Oh, my God. Man. And now Stroud, a completion for about 10 yards to Stroud, getting back about what they lost on that sack. So Stroud. So 3rd and 11 for Martinsville, and now he gets rid of it. Did he make the catch? Incomplete. Dodson was the intended receiver, but he had to get down really low, and the official ruled that he didn't get it. So 4th and 11. Will they go for it or will they punt? 1:12 to go. Well, it looks like they're going to punt. So the Quakers will have a chance to add to their lead here with the 1:12 to go and still 2 timeouts. So Reynolds and now it takes a great Martinsville bounce and it goes all the way inside. Well, it goes all the way down to the 1 where it's down. So that's about the first thing that's that's about the first thing that's gone right for the Artesians there since that opening drive. He kicked it from his own 32 down to the 1, and that's so that is a 67-yard punt there. So now Plainfield has to be careful. And what this might be a time when it's wise to just, give up the safety with an 18-point lead rather than taking the chance that there's a fumble that they recover for the touchdown. Because if we give up the safety, we're still up by 16. And we get the ball first to start the second half. The main thing is just no fumble here. And now we got a flag here. There's some movement on the line, hopefully against Martinsville, so we'll move from the 1 to the 6. So it'll be 1st and 5 for the Quakers now at the 6. 1:01 to go. So now let's just run out the rest of the clock. Now hands off there to Starnes. He's got some room. He's and now he pushes his way up. He's got the first down, so we should be able to run out the rest of the clock from here. He got some good pushing from his line. So that's 6 yards, giving Starnes 10 for 84 and 2 touchdowns by my count. And now with 41 seconds to go and counting, we will be able to just run out the rest of the clock and go into the halftime with the 18-point lead. All right. So Stan gives it to Starnes there. Gets maybe a yard there. 15 seconds to go. And look, yeah, the Quakers are going to run it out here. Give them credit for 2 on that one. So after a scary start, Plainfield has come out running on all cylinders, and they go into halftime leading Martinsville 29-11 here on audiosportsonline.com. We'll be back with a first half recap after these words from our sponsors. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers this broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to thank them, and we hope you will support them. They are Remax Centerstone, Julia Berberich, Ganell Financial, Crone Family Construction, My IT Indy, Ryan Grimes, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crest Point Real Estate, Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellis and Associates. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Martinsville, we're at halftime where just about everything is going right with the world from the standpoint of your Plainfield Quakers. After falling down 8-0 early in the game, they now are on a 29-3 run and lead the undefeated, but not for long, Martinsville Artesians by a score of 29-11. Martinsville got the ball first and scored easily on their first possession with 8:08 to go. Quarterback A.J. Reynolds threw a 9-yard touchdown pass to Mason Dodson. A.J. Reynolds ran 9 yards for the touchdown and then threw a 2-point conversion to Mason Dodson, making the score 8-0. However, Plainfield, on its ensuing possession, also scored easily on a 13-yard rush by Luke Starnes. And rather than going for the 2-point conversion to tie, Leo Hayob kicked the extra point. So Plainfield still trailed 8-7. Then on Martinsville's ensuing possession, Charlie Rollins hit a 35-yard field goal that bounced over the crossbar, making the score 11-7, but it's been all Plainfield ever since. On Plainfield's second possession, Plainfield's second possession, Luke Starnes took the ball 35 yards. On the drive started on the Martinsville. The drive started on the Plainfield 33, and Luke Starnes. Ethan Ellis rushed 35 yards to the Plainfield 32, and then later on that possession, Luke Starnes scored his second touchdown of the game, an 8-yarder that made the score 19-11. The Quakers. They made the score 15-11. That gave Plainfield its first lead of the game. Then on Martinsville's ensuing possession, when they were going for it on 4th and down inside the 30, Reynolds was sacked and Plainfield took over at the 36, and then scored again. This time on a 2-yard touchdown rush by Weston Wayrich, and then after a bobble kickoff return by Martinsville that was recovered by Plainfield, Wayrich scored his second touchdown of the game, and it's in fact his second touchdown in 1 minute and 45 seconds. This time from 1 yard out. And the extra point was good, bringing us to our current score of 29-11. I'll look at the individual statistics first of all for Plainfield. Bryce Sabank is continuing his improved passing offense. He's completed 4 of 4 passes for 72 yards. Ethan Ellis leads the way with 2 receptions for 47 yards. Ryan Garber has 1 for 17, and Brandon Hendry 1 for 8. On the ground, Luke Starnes has 11 rushes for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ethan Ellis has 3 rushes for 42 yards, and Weston Wayrich 7 for 28 and 2 touchdowns, while Sabank has 1 rush for 7 yards. Meanwhile, for Martinsville, A.J. Reynolds has completed 9 of 15 passes for 126 yards, and Hunter Stroud has completed 1 of 1 passes for 0 yards. On receiving, Mason Dodson has 2 receptions for 54 yards. Hunter Stroud, 3 for 33. Draven Sanders, 3 for 28. And Landon Casey, 1 for 11. On the ground, Landon Casey leads the way with 9 rushes for 28 yards. AJ Reynolds has 3 rushes for 3 yards and 1 touchdown. Hunter Stroud, 1 for 3. And then that's it. So anyway, so basically this has been a okay, hold on just a second. Well, Cascade is leading Owen Valley 56-0 at halftime. So congratulations to the cadets on the first undefeated regular season in school history. Quite a milestone out there in Clayton. And certainly I wish them well in the sectional and beyond. Hopefully they'll get that elusive state championship. And it'd be great if that, assuming that we hang on to win today and Brownsburg wins, that means that we'll have 3 teams in Hendricks County finish the regular season 26-1. So it's great to see how well the county is doing in football. Also, if Danville wins tonight, that would mean that 4 teams in the county would finish a combined 34-2. I forgot Danville's 7-1 and probably going to make it 8-1 tonight. They're playing a team tonight that they should win without much trouble. So anyway, it basically, this is a game where for the second week in a row, the other team got the ball first, scored easily on their first possession. And then it was just about all Plainfield the rest of the way. Hopefully it'll still be all Plainfield in the second half. We do get the ball first to start the second half with a commanding 18-point lead. And, one thing I've noticed over the years, in 46 years of watching sports, is when a team is not accustomed to playing from behind, which Martinsville is not, obviously being 8-0, and then suddenly they have to play from behind, especially 3 possessions behind like they are now, then it's sometimes they just fall in because they don't know what to do. But at the same time, this loss actually could be the best thing that's ever happened to Martinsville because it could bring them down to earth going into the tournament. And keep in mind, unlike us, they don't have a week off. I mean, they actually play their first tournament game 1 week from tonight. So anyway, back to my point. So for the second week in a row, we go down on the other team gets the ball first, scores easily. I get nervous thinking, gee, we're in over our heads. And then we just come back and just dominate. And what's really interesting, last week, Martinsville had us down 7-0. We come back, score on our first possession. It's 7-6. And then Coach Bless calls for the 2-point conversion, only the second of the season. And we hit it, and we go ahead. Well, this time we're down 8-0 because Martinsville took the 2-point conversion on their first touchdown. And then so I thought for sure that when we scored the touchdown, we were going to go for the 2-point conversion to tie. But I'll tell you, I think when we went for the 1-point conversion, I think it was, really good for the kids because basically Coach Bless was saying, hey, we're not worried about it. We're going to get more scores. So, I don't know if he thought about that from a psychological standpoint, but I think that's probably the effect it had on the kids. And now, of course, he looks like a genius, So, that's one of those things about sports. You do something high risk and it pays off. You look like a genius, and if not, then people criticize you for it. But Tyler Bless is a 3rd-generation coach. His grandfather, Bill Bless, Indiana Football Hall of Famer, longtime coach at the University of Indianapolis. From 1972 to 93, 22 years. His dad, Mark Bless, now a Plainfield assistant coach, also an Indiana Football Hall of Famer. After, having a lot of success as head coach at Mooresville, Tyler Bless's alma mater, and then later at Avon, where he built the Orioles into a 6A powerhouse in the 2010s. And obviously, coaching is in his blood, and not to mention his uncles Scott and Tim. Scott, the longtime coach at Bloomington North, Tim, the longtime coach at Columbus North. Two other very good 6A program. Well, Bloomington North is 5A, Columbus North is 6A, but they're both very good programs. So while they're doing the halftime show, right now let's talk about the sectional. Last Sunday, the sectional draw for the 52nd annual Indiana High School Football Tournament was announced. And for once, Plainfield actually has a draw that, we're not groaning about. First of all, for the last 9 years, Plainfield has, opened the tournament on the road. And the odds of that happening are 1 in 512. So obviously, we've had a ton of bad luck, for the last 9 years. And not only that, but, you look at, for example, I always mention in the 16 years that Brian Woodard lost in the sectional, 4 times we lost in the tournament to Cathedral, the winningest program in state history, I think 14 or 15 times state champion. Then another 4 times we lost to Ron Colley, a 9-time state champion. And then another 4 times we lost to Decatur Central, 2-time state runner-up. And then twice lost to Zionsville, 2-time state champion, and then once to Westfield, a 1-time state champion, and the other loss being to Lebanon, which the least heralded of those programs I just made, but still a very solid program. And we would have won that game, by the way, had we been healthy, but we were just so banged up there back in 2013. So this year, Plainfield finally has as an envious draw, and we certainly we're due for it. We play in sectional 13, and on the north side of the bracket, Whiteland at 3 and 4 plays the Whiteland at 3 and 4, who we beat last week, visits Decatur Central. The only team to beat us all year. Decatur Central is now 5 and 2. Keep in mind, Whiteland and Decatur Central both had a game canceled at halftime back in week 2 because of the lightning. And then we are on the south side of the bracket. We play at home 2 weeks from tonight, and our opponent is by far the worst team in our sectional, maybe the worst team in Class 5A, the Anderson Indians, who are 0 and 8. And we only have one common opponent, Harrison, who the same Harrison team who we beat 24-9, beat Anderson 52-0. Furthermore, last week after the 0-7 start, Anderson hosted another 0-7 team, Richmond, and lost that game 53-38. And by the way, the Indians scored almost as many points in that game as they had all season. They had scored 40 in their first 7 games prior to that, scored 38 last week, again against a team that entered the game 0-7. Tonight, the Indians closed the season at home against the 4-4 Marion Giants. Of course, Marion best known for their basketball prowess of the 80s. The what they called the Purple Rain back with 3 consecutive boys basketball state championships from 1985 to 87, led by future IU players Jay Edwards and Lyndon Jones. But anyway, back to football. Anderson should be a very easy win. I want our kids to show up and take the game seriously and execute well. But looking at it realistically, as long as we don't give away the friggin' game, in the immortal words of Jim Mora, we should win that one easily. And so Danville's leading 41-0 in their game over North Montgomery. So apparently we will have 4 teams in Hendricks County: Danville, Plainfield, Brownsburg, and Cascade in the regular season with combined 34-2 record. So really proud of not only Plainfield but Hendricks County football in general this year. when you're playing an awful team and you're a good team, which is what the situation is when the playoffs open 2 weeks from tonight. What you want to do is take the game seriously, go out there and execute to the best of your ability, make it business-like. What I hope, I don't want us to score 100 points. Oh, that'd be fun if we did. But all I want for that game, we got to keep our eyes on the big picture and understand that the Anderson game is just one rung up the ladder. Oh, but how much? Oh, Brownsburg's losing 20-0 to Hamilton Southeastern. Wow, that's a surprise. But yeah, there's this guy here sitting next to me in the press box. He's updating me on the scores. But anyway, when you're playing an awful team and you're a good team, what you got to do is just go in there, execute, take the game seriously. Don't take the win for granted, but just make it businesslike, knowing it's just, one step up the ladder on your way to the bigger goal. And what I want us to do, I just want us to get a 35-0 first half lead, which should be a piece of cake looking at the opponent. Play the entire second half with a running clock, and then just when you have as we saw back in week 3 against Mooresville, when you have a running clock for the second half, it goes by really quickly, and basically it means you have very little chance of any of your guys getting hurt. And one thing you absolutely never want to do is lose a guy to injury in a game that you're winning easily. If you have to have an injury, make sure it's in a game that's critical, in a situation that's critical. So then, now Whiteland has had some good moments this year, though they faltered down the stretch. When they played Decatur Central back in week 2, Decatur Central won, not by a big margin, 42-29. And it should be noted that Decatur Central's other losses this season were all close. They lost to Martinsville, they lost to Martinsville 20-13. They lost to Mooresville 24-21. We gave them their only big margin of defeat all year when we beat them 32-7 last year. So I don't at all count out Whiteland beating Decatur Central, but more than likely Decatur Central will win the game, which would set up, get this, another Decatur Central Plainfield playoff matchup. And we can never get enough of those. So, and the good news is that if that is what happens, we will host the game. If we beat Anderson and then play Whiteland in the second round, it will be at Whiteland. So how great it would be if we had a home sectional championship game against Decatur Central like we did 2 years ago. I so much hope that happens, but we will see. Now, keep in mind, we will be off 1 week from tonight. Class 5A and 6A have the game off. Class 5A and 6A have the week off. We do open the tournament in the other 4 classes. So if you want to go see some tournament games next week, 3 of the 6 Hendricks County teams do open the season. Starting in Class 4A, let me pull up the schedule here. Danville will visit number 7th ranked Brebeuf Jesuit. Brebeuf Jesuit is in northwestern Indianapolis on West 86th Street. And then Cascade will open at Crawfordsville. The Athenians are 2-6. And both of their wins were 1-possession wins over Class 1A opponents. Should be a cakewalk for Cascade. And then finally, Tri-West. Tri-West only 4-4 coming to tonight, but they open up at a very bad Indianapolis, Washington team in downtown Indianapolis. They're on West Washington Street. Should be an easy Tri-West win. So of the 3 Hendricks County teams that open tournament play next year, 2 should get easy wins. Danville versus Brebeuf Jesuit is going to be tough. The Braves are a very good team this year. And they've just really exploded in their offense in recent weeks. In fact, let me pull up their the results here. a couple of weeks ago, they beat Terre Haute South, the same team we played in week one, by a score of, get this, 83-65. So, and then they followed that up last week with a 68-57 win over Bloomington South. So should break the scoreboard in that game against Danville. Hopefully the Warriors will pull it off. But anyway, Rebuff Jesuit, obviously a very good program, and I just always love watching Catholic schools play because they're just so darn good, and I want to just say, for the sake of clarification, I'm not a Catholic, and I say that only to emphasize that I have no vested interest in this, in this point. It's not like I'm Catholic so that I love watching Catholic schools. I'm Catholic. I love watching Catholic schools, even though I'm not a Catholic, because they're so good. They're so fundamentally sound. They have such great systems. And usually when I see a Catholic school play, they look like they should be playing about 3 classes, above where they actually play. So, I know there's been a lot of, bashing of the Catholic programs in the last several years, and that, which is why they created the tournament success factor thing to curb their dominance. Basically, every 2 years, if you win a certain number of tournament games, you have to move up a class regardless of your enrollment. But to me, I think what we should be doing, other schools should be saying, okay, what makes the Catholic schools so good? And, let's try to figure out if we can do the same thing. And, I mean, there's certain financial factors that are involved, but a lot of it is that, the kids are disciplined. They're hardworking. They're well coached, and they have a very well organized programs, with a lot of parental involvement, and and there are public schools, and as well as private non-Catholic schools that do that as well. It's just, the Catholics tend to do it the most. And yeah, I've always loved watching Cathedral, Bishop Chittard, gosh, what are the others? Garin Catholic, up in Fort Wayne, Bishop Lewis, down in Evansville, Mater Dei, Lafayette Central Catholic. Yeah, I applaud the work that those schools do. And now Plainfield and Martinsville now both out on the field for the second half. Plainfield with an 18-point lead, and teams are warming up now in 8:32 your time of day. So I have a feeling that we're probably going to be here till 9:30, 9:45 tonight. I hope the local McDonald's here is open. I hope the lobby's open late enough that Liam and I can get in, because I am really hungry and thirsty. I do have a soda here, and this Monday was okay. Decatur Central's leading at Franklin 28-3. Oh, so the lobby closes at 9. Oh, the lobby of the local McDonald's closes at 9. Darn. All right. Well, and I guess that's probably the last one before we get back to the Indianapolis area. So we might just have to settle for the drive-through tonight. Shucks. Oh well. I like to do the the lobby, just go in there and relax after the game. Yeah, we do that at Plainfield. I think their lobby's open till 10 or 11. We usually get into the lobby at the Plainfield McDonald's right after the game there. We can actually see the Golden Arches, from the press box. So, well, this last Monday was the 30th anniversary of a movie that my son and I like very much, Pulp Fiction. the movie that put Quentin Tarantino on the map. And, you know, my son and I are sort of obsessed with the scene in which the John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson characters come over to collect their money. And then Samuel L. Jackson has that darkly comedic exchange with the character known as Brett, played by Frank Whaley, very underrated actor. And I don't think there's ever been a scene in movie history that that has as many classic lines as that one. I mean, there's about 12 really classic lines by Samuel L. Jackson. Check out the big brain on Brett. That's one of my favorites. Or, what ain't no country I haven't heard of? They speak English and what? And then, of course, finally culminating with his dark parody of Ezekiel 25:17. By the way, I looked up I looked up Ezekiel 25:17 after I saw that movie, and what's the actual verse is quite different than what the Samuel L. Jackson character recites. So I'm not sure what kind of point Tarantino was trying to make with that line, but anyway. So now second half action about to start here. Plainfield leading by 18, getting the ball first. Come on, boys, let's just put this away, then go home and get ready for the playoffs. So now fielded at the 10, brought to the 15, 20, 25. Ellis got a hole. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35. One man to beat. 25, 20, 15. And he's stuck out of bounds around the 12. Ethan Ellis, nearly 200 all-purpose yards tonight. What a bright future that sophomore has. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What an exclamation point. Now let's just go for the dagger, boys. I'll tell you, when one thing I like about, I talked earlier in the game about the pros and cons of being in a visitor's press box. One of the pros is that you don't feel awkward when you go crazy when your team is winning. So now two receivers to the right. Starnes, the running back, Sabank in shotgun, takes the handoff. Now Starnes, and he's up for about maybe two. Good effort by the Artesians defense, though. I give them credit. I mean, they're not rolling over. Starnes' 12th carry of the game. Only give him credit for one. So 2nd and 9 for the Quakers at the 14. After the approximately 80-yard kickoff return there by Ellis. God, what a treat he is. He has so many big plays on this season. So now one receiver at each side. Starnes, the running back. Now, Wayrich gets it. He's up the middle, and he goes down inside the 5, brought down around the 2. So Weston Wayrich nearly got his 3rd touchdown of the game, 15th of the season. Give him 12 on that one, 8 for 40 on the game for Wayrich. Barely a minute into the half. Martinsville 8-0, not accustomed to being in this position at all, obviously. 1st and goal at the 2 now for the Quakers. Wayrich, the only running back. One running back to each side. Sabank, hands off to Starnes. I mean, to Wayrich, he's tripped up. He's about a yard short. So, I give Martinsville credit for still playing hard, and and they give him credit for 0 there. So 2nd and goal at the 2 now. Plainfield content to let the clock run. So now Garver to the left, Ellis to the right. Wayrich, the running back. Sabank in shotgun. The snap. Gives it to Wayrich again, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown, and the Quakers have firm control of this game. They make it look easy. Wayrich's 3rd touchdown of the game, 15th on the season, to go with Starnes 17. 35-11 now, Plainfield leading with the conversion pending. So if we hit this, it will be a 4-possession lead. and the kick is up, and it is good. So there's that 4-possession lead, and that just about clinches it for the Quakers with 9:52 to go here in the third quarter. Now we just got to play just play good fundamental ball, execute well, take the game seriously, don't let up. But basically just take away the big play. And, with this one's ours. So Weston Wayrich now, 3 touchdowns in the last 6 minutes here. So I hope he is on your high school fantasy team this week. And again, this might be the best team that we've played all season, even though they're 4A. 36-3 run by the Quakers since falling down 8-0. But I'll tell you, one thing about when I'm in a visiting press box and the Quakers are doing well, it's so, I feel like I can go crazy, without feeling awkward. Whereas, when I'm going crazy and it's, otherwise depressed, home press box filled with fans of the team that we're beating, that is awkward. So I feel kind of awkward right now, but I'm happy, so don't worry about it. And now a mid-level kick, and it goes out of bounds. So I think we're just trying to take away the big play for Martinsville. But the most awkward I've ever felt in a press box was when we made that comeback win against Harrison in the playoffs 2 years ago. We were down 28-21 about midway through the fourth quarter, and then got those 2 back-to-back touchdowns. The 39-yard touchdown pass from Hunter Newell to Grant Irwin on 4th and 18 from the Harrison 39, and then on the ensuing possession, the 51-yard fumble return for the touchdown by our ironically named Harrison Herbeck. So Martinsville taking over at their own 35, trailing by 25. And now hands off to Casey. He's got some room. He's got the first down and more. But again, all we got to do is just take away the big play, and we're fine. So a 14-yard rush by Casey. Yeah, I have him 10 for 42 now. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. And now Reynolds looks deep. Now he throws it, and it's incomplete. Threw too far to the right. We put a lot of pressure on Reynolds tonight. Got him for a couple of sacks. But this is good preparation for Reynolds heading into the playoffs. Oh, we got a flag against Martinsville. I missed that. So 1st and 20 now. 1st and 20. Martinsville at their own 39. And now we've got a whistle here. Few penalties in this game. I'll tell you, go back to the Decatur Central game 3 weeks ago, man, that was that was crazy. My dad listens to some of my broadcasts. He's even attended a few of my games, sat in the press box with me, and he texted me near the end of that game, and he told me I was doing a great job, commentating the bizarre game, because I think what happened is we had a bunch of officials who had never worked together before, and they had so many really long deliberations, and probably the most penalized game I'd ever commentated. I think we had 20 to 25 penalties in the game. So now Reynolds takes a snap. He runs out, and he thinks about throwing, and he runs out of bounds around the line of scrimmage. I think he picked up maybe one. So Reynolds showing a lot of mobility there. He is a good rusher. So 2nd and 19 now. Reynolds coming into tonight, 76 rushes for 353 yards and 10 touchdowns, averaging 4.6 yards a carry. So 2nd and 19 now. Now hands off there to and now let's see. That was Lucas Dewey with, I believe, his first carry of the game. Picks up about 3, bringing up 3rd and long. Okay, they give him 5 on that one, so 3rd and 14. Third and 14 now. At their for 3rd and 14 for Martinsville, their own 45. Now Reynolds looks and he dodges a sack and he gets rid of it. He throws deep and it is a little too far to the right. I know we got a late flag though. Might be pass interference. Didn't look like there was a lot of contact, but let's see though. Oh, roughing the passer. Okay, I was going to say it didn't look like pass interference to me. It looked to me like the contact, if there was any, was incidental, but let's see. So roughing the passer, so it will be a first down for the Artesians, but they still trail by 4 possessions with 8:33 to go here in the 3rd quarter. What I want to avoid mainly is preventing Martinsville from getting any idea that they have a chance to come back and win this game. Well, the thing is, I mean, we've scored a touchdown though on all 5 possessions, so they haven't shown they can contain our rushing offense at all. And while Sabank has thrown only 4 passes, he completed all 4 for 72 yards. So now fakes the handoff. Now Reynolds got plenty of time, throws deep down the right side, and it is complete inside the 5. That was Casey. The running back went deep, and that's maybe the biggest offensive play of the game for Martinsville. Boy, did they need it. It's probably too little too late, but it does get the crowd into it and probably gives the guy a little confidence. Probably gives the guys a needed boost of confidence. 2nd reception for Casey on the game. So 1st and goal at the 5. And now fakes the handoff, throws into the end zone, and they got a touchdown there. So Josh Jones with a 5-yard touchdown reception with an even 8 minutes to go. As your score now, Plainfield 36, Martinsville 17 with the conversion pending. Plainfield was on a 36-3 run prior to that. So now the extra point here. It is up and it is blocked. It is blocked. So Plainfield still with a 19-point lead. Still with the 3-possession lead. And again, they have not shown they can contain our rushing offense. So let's keep, throwing it at them and just, get that 4-possession lead back. So that was a 5-yard touchdown pass from Reynolds to Josh Jones, set up by a 35-yard pass from Reynolds to running back Landon Casey. So it's always, often, a good trick play to send a wide receiver deep like that. So an even 8 minutes left in the quarter and even 20 minutes left in the game. Plainfield still leading by 19.
Trailing 36-17, set for another McFadden family dentistry kickoff. We've got to get it good.
So now they're going for an onside kick, but I think we got it. We were ready. Whiteland went for one on us last year. Whiteland tried one on us last week, and it did not work, and neither did that one. So we were ready. So good job, boys. Because had they gotten that and gotten a quick touchdown, it would have been a 2-possession game with still, a good amount of time for an offense like this. But as it is now, we start, in Martinsville territory at the 49 when we scored a touchdown on all 5 drives. Make it 6 for 6, boys. So 2 receivers to the left, hand up there, and he's got a first down there. So that's a game of about 11 there. That was Wayrich again. Wayrich is starting to take over this game. He has 3 touchdowns now, which came in a span of less than 6 minutes. Give him credit for 9 on that one. So he didn't quite get the first, so it'll make it 2nd and 1. I have Wayrich 11 for 51 and 3 touchdowns. Starnes 12 for 87 and 2 touchdowns. So Ellis and Garver to the right, Wayrich and Starnes at the running back. Starnes gets it, and he's got the first down and drags his way up for about 3 or 4 more. So Starnes does have the first down. So give him 5 on that. He's closing in on 100 yards by my count. 1st and 10 now at the at the Martinsville 35. Under 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Plainfield leading 36-17. Martinsville got a touchdown on their last possession after Plainfield was on a 36-3 run. So 2 receivers now to the right. And now screen pass again, and it's incomplete. He went from Wayrich. The first incompletion for Sabank after 4 completions to start the game. Just a little bit off tackle. But probably good that he dropped it because he very well might have been dropped right around the line of scrimmage, maybe even for a loss. Only thing I don't like is that it does stop the clock, but we're still in good shape here. So Plainfield, Garver to the left, Ellis to the right, Starnes and Wayrich in the backfield. And Sabank faked the handoff, but it didn't fool anybody, and he's brought down for a loss. But there is a flag, though. There is a flag. I think it's going to be a personal foul against Martinsville, so that will be an automatic first down if that is the case. But let's see, 6:29 here, nearly 5/8 of the way through this game. Plainfield apparently about to give Martinsville its first loss of the season, and that would make it a so 15-yard penalty. So the Quakers get the first down on the penalty. So bad break for the Artesians, who were trying to get the ball back with a chance to cut it to 2 possessions, still with over a quarter and a half to play. So now, 1st and 10 at the 25. Ellis and Garver to the right. Now hand off to Starnes there from the 25, and he's up for about 3 or 4. So let's keep the clock and the chains moving, boys. Just now to past the 6-minute mark now. 3 more by Starnes, closing in on 100 again. He's over 1,300 on the season, 17 touchdowns. Wayrich has 15. So the pair, the 2 lead actors, 32 touchdowns on the season, including 5 tonight. And possibly more to come. So now both of them are in the game right now, and we got the whistle here. So the clock stops with 5:28 to go. Woohoo. Equipment timeout, okay. I think it's the first one of those I've seen all season. So now both running backs in there. Now fakes the handoff. No, Starnes gets it, and he's brought down. Might get forward progress out for one, so it'll bring up third and long. Very critical third down for the Artesians defense here. Plainfield has scored on all 5 possessions so far. This is its 6th. So that'll bring, let's see. So it looks like they're going to mark him for no gain there. I'm not sure why the clock is stopped here. So now Brownsburg has scored. So there's a penalty against Plainfield. I didn't catch what it was. Backs it up 5 yards, though. So Hamilton Southeastern now leads Brownsburg 23-7. So now one receiver to each side now. Starnes and Wayrich in the backfield. 10 seconds on the, and I think Plainfield. Oh no, they another penalty there, another 5 yards against the Quakers. So now Plainfield's starting to get called for a lot of penalties here. Coach Bless won't like that. So now it's 2nd and 17. So again, we got Garver to the left, Ellis to the right, Starnes and Wayrich in the backfield. Now Wayrich gets it now and picks up about 3 or 4, so it'll be third and very long. Wayrich is 12th rush of the game. Only gets credit for 2. I thought he got a little more than that. So 3rd and 15. Plainfield, Sabank has only thrown 5 passes today. However, 4 were completed for 72 yards. Let's see if they try a pass here, or maybe they just start trying to, maybe they're just going to do a rushing play, be very conservative, and just try to get as much as they can. And now Starnes gets it. He's past the 25, 20, 50. He's got the first down inside the 10, inside the down to the 5. So Starnes, the speedster, that he moves well over 100 yards on the game on that one. I have him 15 for 120 now, which is 8 a carry. I'll make it. Okay, they mark it they move it back to the 6 now, but nevertheless, the Quakers 1st and 10, 1st and goal at the 6 with 3:47 to go in the quarter, already leading by 19. So now Ellis to the left. Now Ellis in motion left to right. And now Sabank takes it himself, and I think he's got the touchdown, and he does. So Bryce Sabank with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. And Plainfield now has a 4-possession lead again, 42-7 with a conversion pending. 6 yards by Sabank. The Quakers have scored on all 6 possessions, all rushing touchdowns. So, they did a great job after Martinsville threatened to get back in on their last possession, and now line up for another extra point. So it's good that Sabank has shown that he can run when need be himself. Kick is up, and it is good. So Hayob is 5 for 5 on extra points tonight. And we also have a 2-point conversion in there. And with 3:30 to go in the 3rd quarter, your score, Plainfield 43, Martinsville 17. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to thank them, and we hope you'll support them. They are Remax Centerstone Julia Berberich, Ganell Financial, Crone Family Construction, My IT Indy Ryan Grimes, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, VGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crest Point Real Estate, Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellison Associates. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Martinsville, where your Plainfield Quakers are about to get their 8th win of the season and get a share of the Mid-State Conference Championship with a They lead the host Martinsville Artesians, the undefeated, not for long Artesians, 43-17. Plainfield entered the game 7-1. Martinsville 8-0, including 5 wins over higher class opponents. Martinsville currently ranked number 2 in Class 4A. And now another kick, and it goes out of bounds. So, no, Dewey picked it up before it went out of bounds. So, Martinsville taking over at the 25. I thought it was going to go out of bounds. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea to just kick out of bounds the rest of the way. It looks like this will be the first game all year in which Hayab does not get a touchback. But basically at this point, we just got to take away the big play. Decatur Central now leading Franklin 35-3. So Decatur Central will finish 7-1. Yeah. So now screen pass, and it is almost intercepted on a tip. Sanders was the intended receiver. It was just a little high and off his fingertips. Reynolds now 11-18. But we got a penalty against Martinsville here with 3:26 to go in the quarter. 9 o'clock your time of day. Not counting, rain delays. I think this is going to be our longest game of the year. 5-yard penalty. Wow. So. So now Reynolds takes it. He throws very deep. It's going to one-on-one, and it's broken up. It's broken up. The crowd is furious. They wanted pass interference. I thought it was it's only incidental contact, and now there's there is a flag, but one of the other commentators here speculates that it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against Martinsville for the reaction after the play. But let's see. 3:19 to go. Obviously, Reynolds, is a big-time player. Should be playing college ball a year from now. One of the best quarterbacks in the state. So now that's half the distance to the goal penalty. 3:19 to go. So now 1st and 25 for Franklin. 3:19 to go. Plainfield leading 43-17. The Quakers will finish at 8-1 and with a share of the Mid-State Conference Championship, tied with Martinsville and Decatur Central. Each of the 3 co-champions beat. And now pass the short pass to Josh Jones. Now he's past the 45 up to about the 50. So that's about a 45-yard rush. Josh Jones had the only passing touchdown of the game. But you don't want to give up a lot of big gains, but at the same time, if they are going to score, we just got to make sure that if they're going to score, we make them consume a lot of time and not get any ideas of getting back into the game. And now a handoff to Casey. He gets about 3 or 4. So now 4 yards there by Casey. So now Reynolds takes the, and now he's pressured, throws deep, and it's incomplete. Sanders, the intended receiver, so that'll bring up 3rd and 6. Martinsville at the Plainfield 41, 2:23 to go in the third quarter. Plainfield 43, Martinsville 17. Martinsville trying to, finish the game on a positive note. So now, handoff to Casey, but he's going to be he's not going to get the first down. He got about 2 or 3. Those are good. Marking him for no gain. I thought they'd get a couple at least, but so Casey, by my count, 12 for 46. I would imagine Martin. Oh, they give him credit for 1. I was going to say I thought he got at least a little bit. And now Martinsville looks like they're going to take a timeout with 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Well, Martinsville opens sectional play 1 week from tonight, hosting the Charlestown Pirates, who entered the game at 1-7. Charleston is down in southeastern Indiana between Louisville and my hometown of Madison, Indiana. In fact, when I was in high school, we actually played Charlestown in football. Charlestown often, has, in fact, Charleston actually has generally been a winning team in recent years, but just, we've caught them in an off year this year. Their head coach, Jason Hawkins, is 121 and 60 in his 17th year at the school. So now, 4th and 5 now. 11 on the play clock. Plainfield's leading by 26. 2 receivers to the right now, and they pressure Reynolds, and he gets a screen pass. He's got the first down more inside the 25 up to about the 23. So Casey on a screen pass, and we've made Reynolds get rid of it, a lot sooner than he would like to a lot of times tonight, and that's really affected the way that he's played. He does get 16 yards there on the pass to Casey, however. That's Casey's 3rd reception. He has over 100 all-purpose yards. So now they throw into this, and now it's touchdown up the middle to Hunter Stroud from 24 yards. So Martinsville finally getting its offense going, but it's probably too little too late. Reynolds now, by my count, 14 for 21, 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. Still a 20-point Plainfield lead with 1:10 to go in the third quarter. The last Plainfield blocked Martinsville's last PAT attempt, and this one is, and so that's 2 blocks in a row. So that's great to see. It's great special teams play by the Quakers tonight. So Plainfield will get the ball back with a 20-point lead. Well, I'll tell you, it's really great. I've been on the other side of losses like this plenty of times. It's great to be in a situation where, even when the other team scores, it looks like they can't, stop their opponent. And that's the case with Plainfield tonight. We've scored on all 6 possessions. Martinsville's had a lot of good moments on offense, but they haven't been able to stop us at all. So Plainfield now just 13 minutes and 10 seconds to run out here to get the win here and go into the playoffs with a lot of momentum on a 3-game winning streak and having won a conference championship. So assuming we win tonight, then that means we will have beaten Martinsville, who beat Decatur Central, who beat us. So each of the three co-champions beat one of the others. Will they go for the onside kick again? Yes, they do. And we got it. We got it. It wasn't a very good kick. It didn't take any really high bounces. What's one? Okay, Brownsburg coming back furiously with 6 minutes to go. They've got the lead to 23-21 to Hamilton Southeastern. Be great to see the Bulldogs preserve that perfect season. So Plainfield taking over at their own 48, 1:10 to go and a 20-point lead. Come on, boys, let's just finish the job here. And now hand off there to Starnes. He's brought down right around the line of scrimmage. Starnes brought down for a 1-yard loss. Okay, Brownsburg just tied it. All right. So it looks like they're going down to the wire there in that regular season finale. I remember back in 2015, along with Rob Kindle and I think it was Troy Reimer, we commentated Brownsburg versus Hamilton Southeastern in the regular season finale at Victory Field, home of the Indianapolis Indians. That was a lot of fun. They had good food service too that night. So anyway, hand off to Starnes, and he's brought down right around the line of scrimmage again. So maybe they're finally starting to get Starnes' number there. So they stopped for no gain. And now Plainfield on 3rd and 11, 6 seconds left. So they're letting the clock run out. So your Plainfield Quakers 12 minutes away from an 8-1 finish and a conference championship. Your score here tonight at Martinsville, Plainfield 43, Martinsville 23. We'll be back with a thrilling conclusion after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is made possible by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to recognize them and we hope you will support them. They are Remax Centerstone Julia Berberich, Gunnell Financial, Crone Family Construction, My IT Indy Ryan Grimes, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, and Crest Point Real Estate. Also, Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellison Associates. Thank you, business partners. Your support for the student athletes at Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Martinsville, your Plainfield Quakers are trying to hang on to win the regular season finale. They lead the unbeaten Martinsville Artesians by a score of 43-23. If Martinsville makes an amazing comeback to win, they will get sole ownership of the Mid-State Conference Championship. If Plainfield hangs on to win, it will be a three-way championship between Plainfield, Decatur Central, and Martinsville. So now 3rd and 11, Plainfield hands off to Starnes, and he's brought down. So 3 consecutive times they bring Starnes down for no gain or a loss. So finally, they finally got his number here, but it's probably too little, too late. Although Martinsville can make it a 2-possession game on this possession. So Plainfield apparently will punt. This was Plainfield's 7th possession. They scored rushing touchdowns on their first 6. So good punt there. And it is it bounces inside the 25. It takes a Plainfield bounce. It's going to be down to around the 12. So that's going to be about a 41-yard punt there for Plainfield. And Martinsville now with 11-11 and a 20-point deficit finally held Plainfield without a touchdown for the first time tonight. And now what Plainfield's got to do, just take away the big play, and if they're going to score, make them spend several minutes to do it. Because if they get a touchdown in a minute or two, then, they are in this game. they'd still have a low margin for error, but there would be a realistic scenario at that point that they could come back and win it. That would be psychologically disastrous to blow a lead like that. So now, two receivers to the left, one to the right. Reynolds throws up the middle, and Jones. Oh, he's in and out of his hands. I thought he had it, but he dropped it. He dropped it.
Number 21, Jack Aldridge.
Reynolds, 14 for 22 tonight, 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But, he's had to work hard for those big numbers. And keep in mind, often when quarterbacks compile big yards, it's in a loss because they have to pass, because they're playing from behind so much. Like Brady Wilson of Terre Haute South got 365 yards against us in the opener, and then they lost. And now handoff there to Lucas Dewey, and he's got the first down. So Lucas Dewey showing some toughness there. Only a second carry of the game by my count. He picks up 12 there. He had 5 on his first. 10:52 to go. But, Plainfield can afford to give up plays like that. I mean, because it keeps we kept the ball in bounds. So, the clock keeps ticking. 10:41 to go now. Plainfield still leading by 20. So 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Reynolds takes it. And now screen pass. And it's complete for Draven Sanders, but he's brought down for a short gain. So it'll bring up second and long. 2nd and 6. Draven Sanders, I have him 4 for 32 now. 10-12 to go now, 2nd and 6. We'll give them all the 4-yard gains that they want to take. So now Reynolds drops it back, looks deep, rolls right, throws, and it is caught for oh, no, he dropped it. I thought he had it. I looked, that's 2 on this drive that he threw that, was a good throw, and the guy just didn't get the grip on it. So very critical 3rd and 6 for Martinsville, trailing by 20, 9:58 to go, trying to stay in this one. So 3rd and 6 now. So 3rd and 6 now. And now low snap, but he gets it, throws up the middle. Hunter Stroud's got for the first down for a gain of about 10. So Reynolds could easily get and that's an 11-yard pickup there, by the way, to Stroud. So now he drops back, and he throws deep, 1-on-1, and we got pass interference. It looks like against the Quakers, and that probably was the right call. I try to be honest. I used to watch Purdue basketball constantly with my maternal grandparents back in the days when they played on Channel 4 all the time. They didn't go to Purdue, but all 3 of their children did. And they really believed that Purdue had never committed a foul in the history of basketball. Every time that there was a foul against them, it was because of crooked officiating. And every time, and especially when Purdue was losing, it seems like this was more prevalent when IU had Steve Alford, and he shot a lot of free throws. And, of course, he made a lot of them. I mean, he led the NCAA Division I in free throw shooting as a freshman. But my maternal grandmother had this thing where when the guy was about to shoot the free throw for the other team, she would always say, "Miss it, you don't deserve it." And I'm not superstitious, but I honestly don't remember one time when the guy actually missed it when she said that. And now throw it again at the middle, and he gets a completion inside the 30, inside the 20, up to about the 15. Josh Jones brings up to the 16. That's a 30-yard pickup there. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now a low snap. He still picks it up, gets rid of it, and he gets us And he gets it inside the 5.
What a great job by AJ Remy. Low snap, on the ground. Got outside, got down,
Mason Dotson there for a 13-yard gain. And now Lucas Dewey is into the end zone for the touchdown. So Martinsville still in the game with 8:57 to go. It's a 2-possession game now. Well, so Martinsville, I give them credit for, hanging in there. I mean, they are showing the confidence of an undefeated team. And now after Plainfield has blocked the last 2 PAT attempts, Martinsville going for a 2-point conversion here. And now a keeper there by Reynolds, and he stays on his feet, and now he pitches it back to Stroud, and Stroud gets it, and it's a 12-point game. So Martinsville's still in it. A 9:20 your time of day, and your score now 43-21. So, yeah, Reynolds was about to get sacked, and he threw back to I believe it was Stroud who took it in for the 2-point conversion around the just got over the left pylon. That was another bizarre play, though not as bizarre as Sabonk's pass that to Garver that he lateraled back to Tommy Spilker for the touchdown last week in our win over Whiteland. So now what we got to do now, we got to score and break their momentum. So back here at Martinsville, where your Plainfield Quakers are now a little too close for comfort. They still lead the Martinsville, and that doesn't even go 10 yards, the onside kick. So Plainfield will take over, and I believe Martinsville even touched it before it went 10 yards anyway, but it didn't go 10 yards regardless. So Plainfield will take over in Martinsville territory. So now with the 12-point lead, we just got to get a score here, hopefully milk several seconds of the clock. A touchdown here would just about clinch it. Last time, Plainfield's had 7 possessions, scored rushing touchdowns on the first 6, punted last time. Starnes was stopped for a no gain or a loss 3 plays in a row after scoring 2 touchdowns and rushing for over 100 yards prior to that. So now the crowd back into the game here. 2 receivers to the left now. Starnes now hand off there, and he's now Wayrich this time, and he gets up for about 4. Wayrich has 3 touchdowns tonight, bringing him to 15 on the season. 4 there by bringing up 2nd and 6 for Plainfield after 4 by Wayrich. We now have it 2nd and 6 at the at the Martinsville 44. So now 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Wayrich, the running back. Some movement at the line, but no call. 10 on the play clock. Now 5 seconds now. Takes it. And now Sabonk throws, and he's got a completion to Ellis. He's got the first down and a little more. So Sabonk, I believe that's his first pass. I know it's his first completion of the half. So 7 yards there. Sabonk 5 for 6 for 79 yards now. Ellis 3 for 54 in receiving. So Plainfield now 1st and 10 at the Martinsville 47. And now handoff there to Wayrich, and he's gets for about 2 or 3. And so that'll bring up a 2nd and 8 or so. Under 7.5 minutes to go. Plainfield with a 12-point lead in the ball. Martinsville, however, on a 14-0 run. Here they gave Wayrich a little better spot than I got. They gave him 3. They gave Wayrich a slightly better spot than I expected. So it's 2nd and 7 now at the Martinsville 34, 7:02 to go. 2nd and 7 for the Quakers. And now handoff there to Wayrich. He's close to the first down. I think he's going to be a yard short. It's going to be 3rd and very short. Weston Wayrich, 15 for 66 and 3 touchdowns on the game. 3rd and 1 now, very critical. 3rd down, 6:36 to go. Plainfield with a 12-point lead. If we get this 1 yard, that'll go a long way toward putting this one away. Because that means we can run out, we can run off probably a couple more minutes, or at least to force them to use their timeouts. So now handoff there to Starnes, and he breaks through the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Luke Starnes, and that should put it away. Starnes with his 3rd of the game to go with Wayrich's 3, and now it's 49-31, 6:12 to go. All right. All right. So number 3 on the game, number 18 on the season for Luke Starnes. Way to go. Way to answer the momentum. Great job. And, of course, that's the thing, getting down like Martinsville did and trying 3 consecutive onside kicks, giving us 3 consecutive possessions where we start around the 50, that does play into our favor, certainly. And so Hayob now 6 for 6 on extra points tonight to go with a 2-point conversion. And it's a 50-31 Plainfield lead now. Quakers pretty much have this clinched now. Boy. So the Quakers, 8 possessions tonight, 7 touchdowns, all rushes, 3 apiece by Starnes and Wayrich, 1 by Sabank. Martinsville has done some good things on passing offense, but they've had no answers for the most part to our rushing offense. So Plainfield about to get a Mid-State Conference champion, a Mid-State Conference championship. They will share it with Martinsville and Decatur Central, but we have our sights set on a lot more starting 2 weeks from tonight when we begin the playoffs. We have a bye week next week. If you tune in, I will not be here. It'll be hard for me after 9 consecutive exciting Quakers games to have a week off with no Quakers football, but I'll be, my batteries will be all recharged and fired up for 2 weeks from tonight for that, which should be the big win over Anderson, and then a week later, likely against Decatur Central for the sectional championship. And a mid-range kick, and it's fielded around the 20, and not much of a return. And so Martinsville will be taking over right around the 20. So they've got some final scores here. Hamilton Southeastern has given Brownsburg their first loss of the season, 30-23. Who knows? Maybe that will get the. And now deep pass is incomplete there. Dotson, the intended receiver there, as Martinsville starts from their own 24. Reynolds just completed 18 of 28 passes by my count, 299 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So he's padded his statistics, but largely because he was playing from behind for most of the game. And now Reynolds throws deep again. He's got a man open, and it is complete inside the 35. That's Hunter Stroud there. So from the 24 to the 32, that's 44 yards there. So AJ does put up some big numbers tonight in likely a losing cause. So now he throws into the end zone, and it is overthrown. So 19 of 30 through the air for Reynolds. Now 343 yards, 2 touchdowns. Good chance he will set the season record against us in passing yards. Brady Wilson had 365 against us in the opener for Terre Haute South. But nevertheless, a great effort by the Quakers tonight. Scoring 50 points. And now Dewey scored the touchdown, and now he's tripped up after maybe 2. Good effort. He stayed on his feet for several seconds after being hit, but doesn't get much. I'm surprised they're going for a running play at this stage of the game, down by 3 possessions in the last 6 minutes. And they're marking him down at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 10 now, 5:09 to go. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Takes the snap. Reynolds. And now we got the play whistle dead with 4:57 to go. Plainfield leading 50-31. Against Martinsville. Well, this is Plainfield's highest scoring game of the year.
We don't have to get it all here.
3rd and 15 now for the Artesians at their own 37. Takes snap. Reynolds looks back. And now he looks deep. He throws into the end zone. And it is too far to the left. It's going to be incomplete. So it'll bring up 4th and 15. He's going for Sanders with just too far to the left. So 19 of 31 now passing for Reynolds. Still showing, a great arm. He should be playing for a good college a year from now. Well, the last time Plainfield scored 50 points in a game, it was ironically also against Martinsville. It was back in 2019, a 51-29 win. And Martinsville with 4:49 to go in the game has taken a timeout. And at that, I am going to pop open my soda because I am very thirsty here. So hold on just a moment. With the win, we won the conference outright with a Plainfield win, and now we know Decatur Central. All right, got it popped open here. This is a delicious soda. My tribute to Pulp Fiction there. Yeah, my son's got a big grin on his face. He loves the movie too. He imitates Samuel L. Jackson in that scene a lot. And now he just cited the real line, "This is a tasty burger." So 4th and 15 now for the low snap, but he gets it. And now Reynolds goes into the end zone, and he's got it for a touchdown. Hunter Stroud, 37 yards. So the Artesians making a 2-possession lead in the last 5 minutes. A 2-possession deficit, excuse me, 2-possession deficit. They still trail 50-37. So Stroud, wow. So now I have Reynolds 20 for 32, 380 yards, 3 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Hunter Stroud, I have 7 receptions for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now let's see what they. And now they go for 2, and it is overthrown. So the score is 50-37, 4:43 to go. Onside kick likely coming up. So Plainfield is likely to get out of here with a win. But Martinsville is certainly making it interesting late. But keep in mind, we got them in such a deep hole that we were able to be very conservative with our defense. So Reynolds 37 yards to Stroud. They connected for a 24-yard touchdown earlier in the game in the third quarter. Reynolds 3 touchdown passes, all of them in the second half, however, when Plainfield already had a comfortable lead. Nevertheless, a 20-7 run there by Martinsville to make it somewhat interesting here at the end. 87 points between the two teams today. And who knows how many points could be piled up. Martinsville has attempted 3 consecutive onside kicks. Plainfield recovered all of them. So let's see. We got 6 guys lined up on one side, 5 on the other. And now it's a well executed onside kick, but I think we got it nevertheless. That was, I think, the best of the 4 onside kicks they've done today. So now Plainfield just got to, run out 4:43. Just a lot of rushes. $87 points in this game. That's the most in a Plainfield game since 105 points were scored when we lost to Mooresville 63-42 back in week 3 of the 2021 season. Rob Kindle and I commentated that game at Mooresville. That was a barn burner. And now Wayrich, they bring him down right around the line of scrimmage. 4:43 to go. Now Martinsville still with 2 timeouts left. We'll see what kind of timeout strategy they showed. Plainfield taking its sweet time, 17 on the play clock now. $4:10 to go. So Garver now and Ellis to the left. Wayrich and Starnes. Now Starnes heading out left. And Wayrich gets it. And this time he gets up for about 5 or 6. Now he dives forward. He might actually have gotten about 7 on that one. So bringing up 3rd and short. 3:45 to go. 3rd and 3 after 7 by Wayrich. I have him 17 for 73 and 3 touchdowns. 3:38 to go. Plainfield with a 13-point lead in the ball. I'm surprised that Martinsville is not. I guess they must be banking on getting a stop here. If Plainfield gets a first down here, then it's just about over. And now hand off there to Starnes. He's got the first down and more, and he's inside the 30. So that's a nice burst there by Starnes. That should put him over. That'll put him right around the 1,400 mark on the season. After 17 there, I have him 20 for 162 on this game. 3:04 to go now, and now Plainfield can pretty well go a long way toward running out the rest of the clock here. Oh man, what a trip! By the way, we've and now handoff there. Starnes gets it, and he's brought down right on the line of scrimmage. Might get forward progress for one. 2:34 to go. Martinsville still in 2 timeouts left. So it looks like they stopped Starnes there for no gain there, and they've had some good stops on him here in the second half. So 2nd and 10 here, and no, it's just a low snap. Now just fall on it. Okay, there's a Sabank fell on it, so we did lose a play, but the clock. I think they just finally used a timeout here. So 2:02 to go on 3rd and long now. So I assume that if Plainfield does not get this, that's a 13-yard loss there. So bringing up 3rd and 23 with 2:02 to go, and Plainfield leading by 13. So now, assuming that Plainfield does not get 23 yards on this play, I imagine it'll be a very conservative play. They'll probably give it to Wayrich or Starnes, for a conservative gain. But the ball's at the Martinsville 42, by the way. So I would imagine probably, they'll try to gain a few yards and then try to punt and pin the Artesians inside the 10. So they would need 2 quick scores in under 2 minutes with no timeouts left. So 2:02 to go. And now the Quakers. Yeah, the thing is we just got to be very conservative, keep the clock running. Don't throw because an incomplete pass means they can save that timeout. So now hand off to Wayrich. He's brought down probably for a short loss. And Martinsville uses their last timeout with 1:56 to go, still trailing by 13. So here's the status. 1:56 to go in the game. Plainfield 50, Martinsville 37. The Quakers have the ball, 4th and 25 at their own 44. I would guess they would probably punt here, and then Martinsville would punt with the intent of trying to pin Martinsville inside the 10 and make them have to get two scores in under 10 minutes with no timeouts. And keep in mind, Martinsville's already attempted 4 onside kicks, all unsuccessful. Plainfield scored rushing touchdowns on their first 6 possessions and 7 of their first 8. Martinsville enters this game 8-0, ranked number 2 in the state in Class 4A. A strong Class 4A state championship contender, almost certain to win their sectional. They are by far the favorite of the 8 teams. And the punt, and it goes out of bounds around the 6. So, Terre Haute South. I'm sorry, not Terre Haute South, Martinsville. We played Terre Haute South back in week 1. This is week 9. But Terre Haute South had a similar, passing offense. And the 2 quarterbacks who've racked up the most yards against us this year are Terre Haute South's Brady Wilson and tonight Martinsville's A.J. Reynolds. So the Artesians take over at the 7. And now throw deep down, and it's not close to anybody. And we've put a lot of pressure on Reynolds tonight. And most of the receiving yards that that Reynolds has compiled tonight were in the second half when they were playing from behind, and we were, letting them have a lot of, you know, just trying to take away the big play. And now Reynolds gets rid of it, and it's complete. And he does get the first down to Dodson, but only about 11 yards. And I don't think he got out of bounds, so the clock will restart as soon as the chains are set. So 11 yards there to Dodson. So 126 to go and counting. And now Reynolds takes it, throws deep, and he's got a man open. And he makes he dropped it, and he was gone for the touchdown if he had it. In double, and he was in double coverage, but he had the two guys beaten. Oh, man, and that would have made it a one-possession game with over a minute to go still. Granted, they would have needed to recover an onside kick, but great effort there. Wait, there is a flag, though. Oh, he's against Martinsville anyway. So it'll be half the distance of the goal from the 18 to the 9. So 1st and 19 for the Artesians at the 9, still trailing by 13 points with 1:17 to go in the game. So now Reynolds in the end zone throws to Stroud, but he's brought down for a gain of just about 1. So, and the clock keeps on ticking, 1:05 to go and counting. So yeah, we certainly can give up all the 1-yard gains at this stage of the game. So Reynolds now takes it, and now he's the threat. And it's intercepted, and that'll do it. So, all right. Ty White there with the interception, and that'll be it for. So now Plainfield will end the season at 8-1. They'll win a share of the Mid-State Conference Championship. Give Martinsville their first loss of the season. So Martinsville, Plainfield, and Decatur Central share the Mid-State Conference Championship. Plainfield gets 8 wins in a season for the first time in 15 years and heads into the playoffs on a 3-game winning streak, recovering from that 42-21 loss to Decatur Central back in week 6. It's likely that 3 weeks from tonight, we will be playing against Decatur Central for the sectional championship for the second time in 3 years. Last time we got it in, maybe the greatest finish in the history of Plainfield sports. But yeah, it was man, what a great season. And it ain't over yet. So Sabank is kneeling out the clock here. So your Plainfield Quakers, after a scary start, turn it on and cruise to a 50-37 win over the Martinsville Artesians to close out the 2024 regular season. We'll be back with a recap and a look ahead to the playoffs after these final words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to recognize them and we hope you will support them. They are Remax Centerstone, Julia Berberich, Ganell Financial, Crone Family Construction, My IT Indy, Ryan Grimes, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crest Point Real Estate, Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellis and Associates. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Martinsville for a final time tonight, where your Plainfield Quakers have closed out the regular season with a 50-37 win over the Martinsville Artesians. A monumental game for several reasons. Plainfield, in winning, shares the Mid-State Conference Championship with Martinsville and Decatur Central. Each team finishing with a 6-1 conference record. Plainfield getting 8 wins in the season for the first time in 15 years. Plainfield handing Martinsville its first loss of the season. It was a game that, for the second week in a row, in which Plainfield's opponents got the ball first, scored quickly, causing us concern. But then Plainfield took control of the game from there. Last week, Whiteland got the ball first, scored on its first possession to take a 7-0 lead. Then Plainfield came back to win 32-7. Tonight, Martinsville opened the scoring with 8:08 to go in the first quarter on a 9-yard quarterback keeper by A.J. Reynolds. Then he passed to Mason Dodson for a successful 2-point conversion, making the score 8-0. However, Plainfield, after starting off 3-8 at its own 35 on its first drive, Luke Starnes rushed 11 yards to give Plainfield a first down, and then later on that possession with 4:05 remaining in the first quarter, Starnes scored on a 13-yard touchdown rush. However, despite trailing 8-6, Plainfield did not go for the 2-point conversion, even though last week when trailing 7-6, they did go for the 2-point conversion and made it. Coach Bless electing for the 1-point conversion, which Leo Hayab made. Martinsville retained the lead 8-7. Then on their second possession, on Martinsville's second possession, Charlie Rollins hit a 35-yard field goal that hit the crossbar and bounced over, extending the lead to 11-7. But then Plainfield went on an incredible run on their ensuing possession. Luke Starnes scored a second touchdown of the game from 8 yards out. The touchdown was set up by a 35-yard rush by Ethan Ellis to start off the drive. And the extra point. This time, the Quakers did go for the 2-point conversion and made it, and then led 15-11. Then after the Artesians turned it over on downs at their own 36 on their ensuing possession, Plainfield on its ensuing possession took a multiple possession lead on a 2-yard touchdown rush by Weston Wayrich. Then after Martinsville bobbled the ensuing kickoff, Plainfield recovered, and Wayrich scored his second touchdown in 1 minute and 45 seconds with an even 2 minutes to go in the half, this time from 1 yard out. And that gave the Quakers a commanding 26-11 lead going into halftime. Then Ethan Ellis returned the opening kickoff of the second half about 80 yards to the Martinsville 15, and later on that possession with 11:03. I'm sorry, with 9:52. With 9:52 to go in the third quarter, Weston Wayrich scored his third touchdown of the game. In fact, his third touchdown in less than 6 minutes. And then Plainfield at that point started to look like they were going to completely run away with it. They led 36-11. Then, however, Whiteland started to get its much celebrated passing offense going. They scored in less than 2 minutes with an even 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Reynolds threw a 5-yard touchdown pass to Josh Jones. And the extra point was blocked, making the score 36-17. Then on Plainfield's ensuing possession, Bryce Sabonk scored on a 6-yard keeper. And the extra point was good, making the score 43-17. Then Martinsville's passing offense continued to be strong as Reynolds hit Hunter Stroud for a 24-yard touchdown with 1:10 to go in the third quarter. And the extra point once again was blocked, making the score 43-23. Then finally on Plainfield's ensuing possession, they they punted after scoring on the first 6 possessions, and Martinsville took advantage scoring on a 3-yard touchdown rush by Lucas Dewey with 8:57 to go. And that made it a 2-possession game with the successful 2-point conversion. 43-31 was the score at that point. However, then on Plainfield's ensuing possession, they scored again on a 28-yard touchdown rush by Luke Starnes, his third of the game. So he and Wayrich each had 3 tonight. The extra point made it 50-37, giving Plainfield 50 points in a game for the first time in 5 years. And then Martinsville got one final score with 4:43 to go on a 37-yard touchdown pass from Reynolds to Hunter Stroud, the second time they connected for a touchdown on the game. And the extra point brought us to our final score of 50. The failed 2-point conversion the failed 2-point conversion brought us to our final score of 50-37. A look at the individual statistics. First of all, for Plainfield, Bryce Sabank had a modest passing game, but it was very effective. He completed 5 of 6 passes for 79 yards. Ethan Ellis had 3 receptions for 54 yards. Ryan Garver, 1 for 17, and Brandon Henry, 1 for 8. Once again, the Quakers got most of their offense on the ground. Luke Starnes with 21 rushes for 162 yards and 3 touchdowns. Weston Wayrich, 18 rushes for 75 yards and 3 touchdowns. So that brings Starnes to 18 touchdowns on the season and Wayrich to 15 touchdowns on the season. Meanwhile, Ethan Ellis had 3 rushes for 42 yards, and Sabank had 2 for 13 and a touchdown. Meanwhile, for Martinsville, A.J. Reynolds completed 22 of 36 passes for 392 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But most of his yards were compiled in the second half when Plainfield had a comfortable lead, and Martinsville was throwing out of necessity, and Plainfield was letting him have a lot of moderate gains. On receiving, Hunter Stroud had 8 receptions for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mason Dodson had 4 for 78. Josh Jones had 3 for 80 and a touchdown. Landon Casey had 3 for 62, and Draven Sanders 4 for 32. On the ground, Landon Casey had 12 rushes for 47 yards. Lucas Dewey 4 for 20 and a touchdown. A.J. Reynolds, the quarterback, 5 for 4 and a touchdown, and Hunter Stroud 1 for 3. So in conclusion, this is a game in which Plainfield once again is showing. Plainfield is showing that nobody can shut down. At least so far, nobody can shut down their rushing attack. Specifically their 2-man tandem of Starnes and Wayrich. And keep in mind that while Martinsville is a 4A team, they entered this game not only 8-0 and ranked number 2 in their class, but 5 of their 8 wins had been against higher class teams. They beat 4 teams in Class 5A and even 1 in Class 6A, Perry Meridian. So this was probably the best team that we've played all season. Probably a toss-up between them and Decatur Central, although it should be noted that when that Martinsville did beat Decatur Central, granted by only 1 point, 39-38. Basically, we took control of the game, and I like the way that we, for the second week in a row, when we could have been shaken by the other team scoring easily on the first possession of the game, we weren't, daunted. We came back and spit in their eyes and just got a big time win today. Also broke a 2-game losing streak to the Artesians. No, I'm sorry. No, we did beat them 2 years ago, but they've beaten us a lot in recent years, though. And they beat us 13-6 on our senior day last year. So great win. I wish we hadn't let them have so many yards compiled in the second half, but we were in firm control of the game, and we just had to be very conservative and take away the big play. And I wish we hadn't let them get it in within 2 possessions, but I do give Martinsville a lot of credit for firing back. And, they are a team that's going to make a run at the Class 4A state championship. They have 3 almost certain wins coming up over the next 3 weeks in the playoffs, and I wish them well. But as for Plainfield, they will be off next week. Basically, since 2013, the first year of the 6-class system, when Class 5A was split into 2, basically now the bottom 4 classes are still roughly 64 team classes. Class 5A and 6A roughly 32 teams, so we get a week off to start the playoffs. Then we will be back in action 2 weeks from tonight at home against the Anderson Indians. Like I said at halftime, they're a very bad team, 0-8. Our only common opponent is Harrison, who we beat 24-9 and who beat Anderson 52-0. And again, last week, Anderson played another 0-7 team, Richmond, who beat Anderson 53-38. So that shouldn't be a problem. It's great that we open the playoffs at home for the first time in 10 years. So hope you all will get out there to support the kids 2 weeks from tonight. Hopefully we will just take the game seriously, execute well, don't take it for granted, but be very businesslike. I just want us to get a 35-0 first quarter lead, a first half lead, play with the running clock the second half, and put as little risk to suffering an injury as possible. Get out of there and then start preparing for the sectional championship game against the winner of the other first round game in our sectional, Whiteland and Decatur Central. And if Whiteland wins that game, then we will play there for the sectional championship game. If Decatur Central wins, we will host the sectional championship game. I like our chances a little better against Whiteland. Decatur Central, of course, did give us our only loss of the season, 42-21, back on that Saturday game in the rain in week 6. But, I like our chances to win a rematch with them. I think it would be about a 50-50 chance. And I think that, I think we learned a lot from that game. We came out and we've, played very well, in the 3 games since. I think that loss forced us to clean up some things. So, this team, I think we learned from not only from that loss, but also from the collapse of last year where, we had that promising 5-0 start, then lost 4 of our last 5, including our last 3. So I think the kids this time, they've stayed focused. They haven't lost their confidence. I think they know why they lost to Decatur Central, and they've just come out very focused and composed and just executed very well. Very few mistakes in any of the last 3 games. So, we finished with arguably our toughest opponent of the season. Probably a toss-up between them and Decatur Central. They're going to make a run at the Class 4A state championship. And I hope they get it. I always like the Mid-State Conference teams to do well the tournament when they're not playing us, which obviously Martinsville won't be since they're in 4A. We're in 5A. But anyway, so now Plainfield, they finished the regular season with 3 wins in a row. Franklin was a pretty easy win. They're having an off year. Whiteland having an off year by their standards, but we needed to get that monkey off our back. They had beaten us the last 7 games and 13 of the last 14. And then tonight, Martinsville to beat an undefeated team and score 50 points against them. A score, on your first 6 possessions. That's a darn great win. And now we've got a week off to recuperate. If there's any guys who are banged up, let them get a few days to rest and recuperate, and then start thinking about Anderson. And we got 2 weeks to get ready for that game. It shouldn't be a problem. So we just got to get out there as efficiently as possible. Like I said, we really need to make a goal to make that a running clock game for the second half, so we can, minimize the chance of injury, and so we can just be at absolute 100% for the sectional championship game, whether it's against Decatur Central or Franklin. So anyway, it's great we opened the playoffs at home and that we have a good chance to open with 2 home playoff games if we play Decatur Central. And boy, I don't care if we play Decatur Central or Whiteland. I guess I'd slightly rather play Whiteland, because I'd like our chances to beat them a little better. Simply because of how we beat them during the regular season. But I think we can beat Decatur Central too, and whoever it is will be fired up for it, and hopefully we'll execute well and get that sectional championship. But anyway, first things first. We just got to play one game at a time. I don't want us to look ahead to Anderson, but I want us to remember that Anderson is just one small step above the ladder, and I want us to remember that we have to focus on not just beating Anderson, but getting through the game as quickly and easily as possible so we can start resting up for the sectional championship. And so anyway, the regular season's over now. I remember 10 years ago yesterday, when I was sitting across the field in the visiting press box, when we lost 37-14 in the regular season finale to Martinsville. We were 2-7. We were a banged up team for most of the season, but we were starting to get healthy near the end. And I said, we're 2-7, but now the record gets wiped clean. We start fresh for the playoffs. We came back. We won our first 2 playoff games. We beat Danville 31-8. Then we beat Northview 28-13. Then we nearly beat Roncalli for the sectional championship. We lost 24-17 after they beat us 27-3 in the regular season. We made a heck of an improvement. At the same time, after 8-1, we can turn around and lose early in the playoffs too. I was afraid that we would go 8-1 and then draw Decatur Central and go out in the first round. Not that I wouldn't give us a chance to beat them. I would give us a chance to beat them, but certainly it would be far from a guarantee. It was a reasonable chance that we would be 8-1 and still lose to them in the first round. Now, as it is, we're almost certain to get this playoff win over Anderson. But still, we could still lose in the second round. And, after an 8-1 regular season, I think losing in the second round would still be a disappointment. So we just got to stay focused and play our best and, know why we won the 8 games, know why we lost the 1. Try to keep on repeating the successes and avoid the mistakes that we've made. We haven't made a lot of mistakes, but we've made a few that we need to polish. We've continued to get better week by week, certainly we've come a long way since the first 2 games where we trailed in the fourth quarter to Terre Haute South and Harrison before coming back to win. And, when he started off 5-0, it's like, man, is this going to be a repeat of last year where we lose 4 of our last 5? It wasn't. We did lose to Decatur Central like we did last year, but unlike then, we followed up with 3 wins in a row. So I hope you all will get out there 2 weeks from tonight to support the kids in their playoff opener against Anderson. Show them that you're going to be with them, every week, and that you're going to cheer them on. How far are they going to go in this tournament? I'm not going to, speculate on that. I'll just say that if they play to the best of their ability, I think they can beat anybody in Class 5A. So the main thing for the kids is just to focus on playing to the best of their ability. So anyway, I'm gonna miss being, in the presence of my beloved Quakers at 1 week from tonight. But let's all get some rest and be fired up 2 weeks from tonight for the opening of the playoffs. And again, if you want to go to see a game 1 week from tonight, there are 3 Hendricks County teams and there will be 3 Hendricks County teams opening the playoffs in the lower divisions. Danville, who is, I believe, finished 8-1 tonight. I think they hung on to win their game. They were way ahead. So they're going to be playing in Northwest Indianapolis at Brebeuf Jesuit. Cascade, who completed the first undefeated regular season in school history tonight, is playing at Crawfordsville. Should be an easy win for Cascade. And finally, Tri-West, 4-4 coming into tonight. 4-time state champion, though, should get an easy win in downtown Indianapolis against the Washington Continentals. So that'd be great if you went out to support one of the other Hendricks County teams, but definitely if you can, be there for our playoff opener. 2 weeks from tonight, November 1st, as Plainfield opens the playoffs in what we hope will be a magical playoff run. But the main thing is, like I said, no matter how much I want Plainfield to win every game, this is the alma mater of John Wooden, who said that, despite winning 10 national championships as head coach at UCLA in men's basketball, he never talked to his players about winning because he wanted winning to be a byproduct of doing the right things rather than a goal in itself. I mean, the emotional side of me, I just want to win, but, intellectually, I just want the kids to play their best. And as long as they play their best, we're going to be proud of them. And, when you play your best, even if you lose, if you play your heart out and the other team is a little bit better and they beat you, you can at least walk off the field knowing you did your best. And that, to me, is even more important than the winning. But the winning does make it a heck of a lot more satisfying and gives you the emotional jolt that makes sports so much fun. So anyway, once again, your final score here tonight at Cider-Witz Field on the campus of Martinsville High School, your Plainfield Quakers 50, the Martinsville Artesians 37. The Quakers finished the regular season 8-1. They get 8 wins for the first time in 15 years. They split the Mid-State Conference Championship with Martinsville Indicator Central. They hand Martinsville their first loss of the season. Plainfield scores 50 points for the first time in 5 years, and the combined 87 points is the most in a Plainfield game in 3 years. So